Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome back to another episode of Comedy Corner. And tonight we have a very special guest indeed. So special that he actually houses Comedy Corner now. So thank you very much. I wish he would turn the heating on every now and again. But my good colleague here, Corey McGravy, will introduce him.
Yes, thank you very much, Gareth. So just before we get into our fabulous guest, I just want to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Pete Boast of Champions Flat Track School. I was there last week and it was a fantastic. See, for any riders, you know, for any experience, any capabilities, give Champions Flat Track School a like or a message, and Pete will look after you.
I would love to give that a go, but
fantastic.
I don't think I can hold on to one.
We'll get him to. Well, actually, he's happy enough to come on at some stage. We'll have to get him on. But on to our guest, we'll have multiple TT, Northwest, Ulster Grand Prix. There's not much this guy hasn't done or won.
Nope.
And he's my boss, Phillip McCallen. Thank you very much for coming on.
That's right, you're going to have to be careful.
I have to.
He has to be next to me or we'll throw him out.
You get the P45 off this.
Actually, the heating, I have to tell you about the heating, right? It's so complicated. It's all timed in and all the stuff, and it's so complicated that I can't work it. But if I just can get 5 minutes to sit down and change the time and change the stuff.
Read the handbook.
Yeah, you can have some heat, you know.
We'll do this back to front a wee bit. So we're sitting in Phillip McCallen Motorcycles at the moment, which is Ireland's premier dealership. In my opinion, pay rise coming, boys. How did
maybe
you...
a pay loss.
A pay loss.
Pay loss. Yeah. So, not a lot of people know, you actually started off your trade as a fabricator engineer.
Yeah.
How come the bike trade came in?
Well, by accident. It's a long story. By accident, I'm going to say I was a good engineer, stainless steel, aluminium fabrication, mechanical engineer, and still love it, as you know. We talk metal, and the metal jobs, I get them in here every day, you know. Yeah. And they say like a mechanic could be an engineer could be a mechanic, but a mechanic will never be an engineer. Now, that's not in bad manners. Yeah. That's just an engineer has to learn the hard way about metal and what it's made of and how it works and all about it, you know, and that's good.
Yeah, and machining and all
stuff. Yeah. So anyway, I was an engineer, and my boss, I worked 8 years full time, 100 hours a week, and then I went part time, sort of from 88 to 92, because I'd started racing more serious, obviously 89 when I joined Kawasaki. Yeah. And so me and my boss came to an agreement that I could work part-time, but part-time was still 40 hours a week.
Part-time? That's full-time now for most people.
Yeah, well, I used to do that in 3 days. So I had Mondays off, Fridays off, obviously we'd be away practicing, racing or getting ready for Saturday. And Mondays was to recover me and recover the bikes. And it was back to work on Tuesday. So I loved engineering. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would stick in my 40 hours, you know,
right.
Or 36 anyway. And we'd go out on site. I'd do site work on them days because it was out installing stainless stuff, fixing machines, doing that sort of thing. So when you went on site, you had to stay till it was finished. So that suited me okay. I loved it. It was no problem. And then I quit to go racing, and I told the boss in 10 years' time I'll come back and we'll buy the company. You know? And he was actually ready to sell it in 10 years' time. But in between all this, what happened, I was obviously racing in England, and I was sponsored by a company called Motorcycle City, which we had a great career together. Well, I was like a bit of a consultant for them really for the few years I raced with them, because I had a lot of knowledge about motorbikes and systems, and obviously I'd worked with Honda for 10 years, so I had a lot of Honda training on everything, so that helped top up my bike knowledge. Anyway, I ended up riding for Motorcycle City, and then they wanted me to come and work with them. And I said, no, I'm an engineer, not a motorbike man. But as I became like personally involved with them, so as they sponsored me, but I would end up a lot of time at their headquarters and their place. So anyway, when I broke my back in 99, I'd been working with them really from 95, 96 on, like, I didn't realise on like a part-time consultancy thing. And it was only afterwards I realised what I was doing. And then in 1998 or 99, whatever it was, when I broke my back, I ended up, they sort of sucked me into joining the company on nearly a part-time basis, which dragged on more. And I became sort of, really part of the thing was Motorcycle City didn't do a perfect job in after sales with mechanicking and with thing. And I thought, well, I could fix this. So the love and motorbike sort of sucked me into joining Motorcycle City. So I joined them and I became general manager in after sales.
Right, okay.
So that sort of held up. At the same time, FF Food Engineering was for sale. So I was, what am I doing? And my boss Sam was going to work with me for a year to, do a handover, and he was the business end of Motorcycle City and Jim was the hands-on man. So I was hands-on. I'm a fabricator. I can do anything. But while I was in England for 10 years working with Honda and that, every business course and every training course in the world I done. So the idea was, when I'm in England, I'm going to top up with my business. There's no problem with the hands-on stuff. That's easy. I can do that anytime, but I need the business experience from somewhere. So that's what I was getting, from Motorcycle City and from Honda. So, but the timing just didn't work out, and I ended up in the motorcycle trade, sort of by accident because of Motorcycle City.
And what way did that? You were over there, Motorcycle City, and I remember Phillip McCallen's being in Lurgan.
Yes.
On the corner there.
Well, that was at the end when I came home from Motorcycle City. So I had a good time in Motorcycle City, but I've also got a marriage,
Oh, really?
And, I mean, things were great. I had the most brilliant opportunities in the world. Honda wanted me to go and work for them in Europe, and be part of R&D, because I also worked for... There's such an overlap in my life. We might get confused and people might get mixed up here a bit. But really it all started off. So I worked with Honda all through, but in 1990, when the new Fireblade was being developed and come out in 92, I was the main test rider on that project.
For Honda UK?
No, for Honda Japan.
Just Honda Japan?
Honda, the world Honda, So that Fireblade, and again, motorbike racing and stuff was not easy, right? I could ride a bike, but I wanted to know how a bike worked. I'm an engineer, so I wanted to know all about it. So it was really, really easy as a rider to engineer a bike, because I understood metal, I understood how it all worked. And I'd worked with the best people in the world. I'd worked with Olin Suspension. If good old Ken's watching this from K-Tech, I worked with K-Tech from Ken about 1995. I think I started working with Ken for the first time. No, before that, maybe 92, when Ken had his white van, and he used to come from beside Donington, East Midlands area. That's where Ken's engineering was. So I worked with him. So I understood the metal. I understood how suspension worked. I also, my whole career, I've been a test rider, research and development for everything. For tires, I worked with Avon, I worked with Michelin, all on test tires as well. So I worked with suspension with Kaba, White Power, Ken, so I understood that. Being a fabricator, you understand frames and dimensions and geometry, all that sort of stuff. That was easy. And then...
If you say so.
That is, I promise. And then, Tony Scott, the original Tony Scott engine tuner, Tony was, I'm going to say, my best friend, and hopefully I was his best friend as well. And I'm Tony's biggest customer. Tony Scott done over 100 engines for me.
100 engines?
Over 100 engines. And his family all know that, and his close friends know that. It's all on record. So now, that's between rebuilds and total tuning. Over 100 engines Tony Scott done for me. So I had
a couple of pound there.
Yeah, he got a lot of money off me, didn't he? And so that's fact. And so I was a good friend of Tony. So I thought he was the cleverest man in the world with engines. So I would be at his house all night while he was building engines. So I would understand porting, I would understand camshafts, I would understand clearances, I'd understand everything. So I'm not smart, by the way, but
but I
understand it all.
Sounds good.
So that meant, so that's my whole career's like that, testing all sorts of products and discs and brake pads and everything with lots and lots of different people. EBC, Feroda, I've done stuff for, Brembo, I worked with Brembo as well. So on the braking systems as well. And so what happened anyway then in 1990? The Fireblade was being developed, and things were going good with the bike. It was the first bike, that this was the modern super bike. This was the proper bit of kit. And so anyway, But Dave Hancock, who is still my good friend today, we'll need to get Dave on for a podcast with you. And I was speaking to him yesterday, the day before. And so Dave was on. Dave would be right up there as not the project leader, but Dave was a very, very important man in R&D.
Right.
And he would put Honda's opinion in there, the customer's opinion, the rider opinion, that sort of thing, and work with a team in R&D, whatever bike it was. There was many bikes he was mixed up on. There was a few I was mixed up on, but the biggest one being the Fireblade. So what happened anyway, the bike was better than the riders. That's just, people might not like me saying that, but it was the truth. So Mr. Baba, who was the project leader in the Fireblade, was a good guy, and he was a rider as well himself. And I think we had maybe one or two European test riders. I think there was Americans on the team, and then the Japanese test riders. But the truth, the bike was better than the riders.
Okay.
That was just the truth of it. You know, so the bike was going ahead, technology was going ahead, but the riders weren't good enough.
Before their time.
Yeah.
And what stage did Honda bring you in with the Fireblade? Was it when it was still in the blueprints, or was it finished product?
No, the first frames were made up, and the first ones were starting to get
kind of
prototypes starting to get rid. So anyway, Dave's part of the team. They've got a problem. Look, we're not going forward here. The riders aren't good enough. So good old Dave says, I've got the rider.
I know another from Northern Ireland.
That is true, you know. So it was so Dave goes, I've got the rider. Who have you got? Right, I've got Phillip McCallen. I think I didn't win my first TT to 92, but I was in there fighting for the TT, and I'd won Northwest, and I had won everything else by then, Manx Grand Prix. I think I'd won no TTs, but I was up there. Yeah. So I had a pretty good credibility by this time, and Dave I knew about bikes and how they worked. So anyway, he brings me forward. Our first test ride was at Assen. So we had Assen for a private track. So Honda hired the whole track. There was security all around the place, because this is a big project. Like, you know, security that nobody could see anything. You always see about people taking pictures and all this sort of stuff. So the place was so secure. It was unreal. Brilliant. So we arrive up. But then, before I even could do anything, I had about this depth of paperwork to sign.
Yes, all right.
Non-disclosure, secrecy, everything. You know, so before we do anything, we've got,
sign all that.
Can you imagine me reading that? You know,
I don't know. Whatever.
I just went to the back page and signed it, you know.
Yeah.
I says, is it okay? Dave says, sign it. So
sign it. Japanese still own them.
If Dave says it's okay, you know, it was okay. So we started, but it was really good, the stuff, because what happened really, we had, and I hope I get this right, so Dave, if you're watching this, I think it's right. I believe it's right. So we had 3 or 4 or 5 test riders, whatever there, and Dave was one of those riders too. Mr. Baba was one, and in fact on that day he wrote off, I can't remember which bike. We had all the bikes. We had like the Yamaha equivalent, we had the Suzuki equivalent, we had another Honda, we had like, I don't know, half a dozen bikes there, plus maybe only 2 Fireblades, I can't remember.
And Honda organised this was...
Maybe only 1 Fireblade.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
And you were doing back-to-backs?
Yes, so we would do like back-to-back on the stuff, you know, and everything. So we had 2 or 3 timer men, so there was no timing stuff on them. It was stopwatches.
Stopwatches, yeah.
So there was like, 1 or 2 timing people there with the boards and all the stopwatches along the top and all the data. So we would change things, and he'd go out and they would mess around with the camshaft timing and stuff and change that. And you would say, that's it, that feels much better. Well, they go, it might feel much better, but you're 2 seconds a lap slower.
Right, okay.
All right. So I learned so much that first test, and they would change. So we went through, we had, I don't know how many days, we had 2 or 3 days, at least I think, of just solid testing. You've never been so intense in your life. So I'm there, I'm young, but I've got to be right. I've got to be right.
Yes.
It just can't be wrong. the also thing with test riding is you've got to be consistent all the time. You've got to be perfect. Because imagine you just run a little bit wide on a corner and you're down to half a second between two components.
Yeah,
that's
true.
It's false data then.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time then.
Yeah. So
you have to be within hundreds, thousands of seconds.
I would be pretty good at that. Some of the other riders would be up and down a little bit. So was it, like say brakes, we changed different compounds of brakes. So we had brakes, brake pads that sort of bit right away, real aggressive from the word go. Brake pads that were a wee bit less aggressive, things like this. So you would say, again, that's better. Well, nowadays with modern equipment, it's much easier to measure your braking point.
Yeah.
But so there was brakes to do, then there was suspension, and then there was footrest position, and then there was handlebars, and then there was...
Is this for a road bike or a race bike?
Well, that's what they had to tell me, right? This was a road bike.
Right.
This was the Fireblade, the original prototype Fireblade. That came out in 92. So then they go, Mr. Baba, Phillip, you must slow down. This is only road bike. This is not race bike. This is only road bike. So I'd come in, the exhaust would be trailed off it, and everything would be, so no, this bike's not for racing. This is road bike. We must slow down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just about speed. It was about the whole use of the bike, how the bike turned, how it didn't turn.
Usability.
I think they would change yokes a bit. They would change linkages. They would change lots of stuff. And you would try until you got it. And then everybody else would have to, so it wasn't just me, it was my feedback, but they would change the parts. Well, I can't remember if we had 1, 2 or 3 bikes, but I know it was just riding. So I maybe changing this one while someone was riding the other one. Yeah. This type of thing. And, just change. And then, so if everybody improved half a second, or my times were a bit faster than anyone else's, so, but it's still the same, have to have the same increase or decrease in what you were doing,
Yeah.
So, do you think, see, doing that development stuff, because that was probably in your infancy of being with Honda, you're only with Honda a couple of years, and majority of your success came after that. Do you think doing the kind of the R&D work and development helped you further on in your career when it came to the likes of your TTs and stuff, where you had to kind of set stuff up quicker and work around problems quicker because you had all that time, developing and setting up, and you knew kind of what was right and wrong?
I think maybe not so much. Well, yes, that did help there with that, but I was doing that every week anyway. Yeah. So I would be trying different suspensions every week with Ken.
Yeah.
So I was already doing this in a much more serious way.
You were experimenting.
It was just an add-on.
This was just like an add-on. This was
like a free course.
It was like, this is normal.
Yes.
I do this every week anyway. So we're trying to, like, say with Brembo and with EBC and all back in them days. So I was trying different brake pads every week anyway.
Yeah.
So it was, so it made, this was just a luxury version of my testing, you know.
You weren't going to Ernie Coates and getting the cheapest ones.
No, we had we we're talking about 40 footers here. I can't remember, we maybe had 2, 3, 4 40 footers just full of equipment and bikes and parts, and then when we would stop, like in the evening, then the mechanic boys would be working away still on that stuff, getting it ready for tomorrow, and that type of thing.
And how long did you do that development work for?
I done it for quite a few years. Dave would call me back then. So when I done this, then they thought I was brilliant, right? They thought I was God, because when we sit down in the debriefings in the evening, so we'd sit down all around the table, rows of people, all the notepads, all the stuff, and it was really good though, because what we would have, just said those 2 boys were suspension, right, and all the notepads. Those 2 boys. Now these are the people these were the engineers who were developing these parts. So there'd be 2 suspension men, 2 brake men, 2 chassis men, 2 engine men, 2 frame men, whatever. So there'd have been,
there could be 20 engineers in there.
I'm sure there'd have been more than a dozen people in the debriefing.
You were there, you were at the head of the table, and
yes,
you're not bricking yourself, like.
No, because I was telling the truth, wasn't I? I thought it was easy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that was my job in them days, to win races and use the best part. And like I say, with Ken gave me different suspension setups, so I would have the best suspension setup somebody could give me.
Yeah.
But that suspension is only as good as I can talk to Ken. You know people who can set bikes up and people can't. If you can tell, it's much easier now than it was years ago because of telemetry and because of what people have learnt and all the rest. Sort of back in them days, Ken was trying different shim stacks and see how this one works, Phillip, and see how this one works, and this one's good in the brakes, but it was no good for high speed damping, or this one was good for low speed damping, but was crap on the brakes.
But the data logger was you.
Yeah, the data logger was the writer.
Yeah.
You know, there was no telemetry in them days.
Young ones are spoiled now, aren't they?
Oh, yes, you know. Well, no, I think so in some way, because you can do comparisons and you can do, you know, how deep you're braking the corners and all the rest. Whereas we had to just keep going till you fell off.
Yeah.
You know, really, it's a bit like...
That's what he does too.
Yeah, well, that's the proper way. Well, like, if that's good enough for Marcus, is that not good enough for Corey and I?
All right, he's to get out the door here later on. So.
Yeah, but that's like, I mean, that's what Marcus does now, isn't it? He goes beyond that telemetry. That telemetry means nothing to him.
Yeah.
You know, it can read
bar
whatever,
graphs and lines.
It can read whatever it likes, and he does his stuff after that.
He doesn't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of, it's going off the example. We've spoke to a few people about this, like, and kind of data is only meant to be used as a backup tool to what the rider's input is. And as Marquez does that time again, you see a lot of examples where riders are looking at Marquez data, it means nothing to them.
Yes,
if you know what I mean. So it's kind of, it's exampled in that way, like.
A lot of riders that wouldn't even be able to compare.
No, sure.
But look at Top Rack.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sure, look at...
Nobody can ride like him.
You know, that's the other boy you need to get on, Phil Marin.
Yeah,
you know.
Phil Marin, if he answers his WhatsApps.
Yeah.
I know, I tried him too, and he never felt...
We need you here next, Phil, to talk all the tactical stuff, because we're giving you some credit.
He likes all
here.
our stuff, but he just won't come on.
And on Top Rack, you know, because like he's just in a different class. But you know,
ridiculous.
I think they have to write. Phil can tell you about it. I think they've got to write telemetry to suit him.
Yeah. He's just
You know,
beyond any sort of technology.
For what
just
he
unplug
does.
this.
Yeah.
But no, in the evenings, the debriefing was, and this is sort of why they like me, that I could talk to the brake men. You know, I could talk about the feel of the brakes and the brake biting and all about it, and then we'd move on to the suspension man, and I could tell him about the damping, I could tell him about that. Then we'd go on to the chassis man, and I'd tell him, well, maybe I think we should have a little bit tighter in the steering, or we should have a little bit of whatever, and then we'd change that, and then we would go on to the engine, you know, and we could talk about that and the engine, and that's where, you know, the camshafts was like the best example of a lot of stuff. You know, the different cams, different positions, and you really thought, you know, you just felt like the bike. We were comparing this to like the probably I can't remember all the models it would have been, but the 1000 X-Up Yamaha and the Suzuki 750 and the best performance bike that everyone else had, and you would ride your Yamaha and you would think, you'd be off the tires, you'd be out of corners. This bike felt really, really fast. Still 2 seconds slower than your Fireblade time.
Yeah.
You know, just the characteristics of the engine. You'd come out of corners, and you know that's where telemetry and you know anti-wheel spin and all is now. You'd come out of corners, and that bike would be like, you know, breaking away and sliding and trying to spin. You're trying to get out of the corner.
Feels fast.
That's fast. But you're still 2 seconds slower than you would in the other cam
You're
position.
not going forward when the back end spin.
No, and that's true. You know, I've witnessed all that way back then, you know. So, no, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. So,
see that whenever you're sitting around the table with all these, you Japanese engineers and all, I'd be worried.
Well, he speaks Japanese, so it makes sense.
You see, I wouldn't understand. They'd be like, that boy's talking shit. What's he talking about? You know?
Well, that's why they were maybe all sitting down. You know? But when you say, that's shit, that's rubbish,
that's what I'd be afraid of him.
They understood that all right, you know. Like, we did try some stuff and it was rubbish.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's part of the development
maybe
process.
on purpose, you know, going backwards and forward.
I think what did happen, and Dave would be able to back this up, and other people from that older generation of Japanese stuff. You see, what would have happened really? Say those are the brake pad engineers. Well, it's maybe their mate that designed that.
Right, okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
everybody in Japan's linked to everybody, and they all work for HRC.
Yeah.
You know, so that could have, his best mate, you know, could have been, or say a Japanese test rider, for instance, his best mate might have been the man that made those brake pads and designed them. His best mate might have been the suspension man. So they're not bad people, but they couldn't say stuff was bad.
Right,
you know.
okay.
Right. Yes.
They
Gotcha.
couldn't, like the brake pad man, no matter what brake pad you put in, oh yeah, good. And I go, good, they're rubbish. You couldn't stop with them. You know,
It was like a
So-
respectful culture between themselves.
yes,
then.
because they had a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah.
So they didn't, and this was part of the, like, I'm not going to say the problem, but this was like the heritage and all the stuff of Japanese development years ago.
Yeah.
So that's why they had to bring in other test riders,
Yeah.
you know, from Europe or across the world, or someone outside of Japan.
An outsider, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, their mate, like Mr. Baba, the project leader, every one of these was his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he was ruthless and he knew the difference between right and wrong, and, you know, he could do it, but it's very, very hard when, you know, the test riders' best mates the brakes.
They still didn't want to, like, insult each
Well,
other.
what would happen really, and you've done it yourself, and we've all done it at different times, you're trying to prove something is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've put a new, you know, high-speed damping in your suspension, and you, in your heart, because that's new, and this happens all the time, because that's new and that's been developed and you're the first person to get that, you want to believe that's better.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's going
That's
to give
true.
you the upper hand
Yes,
over everyone
yes.
else.
So racing is a lot of psychological stuff, as you know, is psychology from top to bottom, you know, and so definitely that is good as well. But you know, you wanted to believe that product was better and you would make it feel better. Now, data nowadays can prove that's wrong, but all we have is lap times.
Yeah.
So it was, well, that's better.
true.
Well, how come you're half a second slower? You know, and we're down to, like, you know, seconds and half seconds, or as quick as they could get their stopwatch going. But the people who done the timing were good timers, you know, and all the sheets were all written out. you know?
Yeah.
So we'd have all the sheets at the end of the day written out, you know, 20.4, 20.5, 21, whatever, you know. So,
Down to minimalist.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you would have needed Richard Agnew on your team. That's what
Richard would have a field day there.
you would have loved it.
But so that was my involvement with Honda right at the start, you know.
Yeah.
So, going back to the actual start of, you were Kawasaki man, weren't you? Sort of back in the
Before
day.
then, we'll go right back down to bicycles.
Yes, well, you know, I always loved two wheels all my
Yeah.
life. I just loved two wheels and I loved speed. That was it. So, sort of when I was a young kid, my father died when I was only 9. You know,
Oh, right, sorry to
and
hear that.
you know, so my mum had to bring up 3 boys by herself. You know, so my poor mum used to work 6 days a week just to give us food and clothes.
Right.
You know, so like, and we had a big family, like, but so really, I learnt from an early age how to build a bicycle, how to build wheels, how to do all that.
Right.
You know, so like, I remember when I was a kid building wheels and fixing broken spokes for people and all. That got you know, mates were 10p or 20p or 50p.
Right. So you were an engineer before you were even an engineer?
Yes, I had to take a buckle out of a wheel, but I loved it. I'd fallen in love with metal from I was like old enough to know what metal was, you know. So like, it was only cheap stuff then, but maybe second-hand parts. So you'd change this in your bicycle and put a new front ring on it and do something with the forks and try to do something. And then that went on when I got my first 50. You know, because I'm an engineer and I'm serving my time at that. Of course, I thought metal didn't scare me. Metal was just easy.
Yeah.
So my FS1E and my AP50, you know, I'd be taking them all apart and polishing the heads and doing this and maybe stuff that didn't work, but I thought it worked.
What age were you
Like
then?
sort of 16. You
Right,
know?
okay.
Yeah,
So
so
you didn't get a motorbike till you were on the road. Like, there was no schoolboy motocross, none of that.
no,
No.
not really. My cousin John had a motorbike that I used to ride around the fields.
Okay.
We used to ride that around the fields as hard as you could,
Yeah.
but nothing serious competition or anything like that.
There's a running theme here, isn't there? Like, all the old school top end road racers.
I didn't get going
They
till-
all stole their uncle's or their grandma's bike and went round the fields.
Yeah, well, it's all like you know, you didn't have money in them days to get anything else, and you know, that's where you got it from.
So that was the only influence kind of from the family side of motorbikes. Like, was your father in the bikes? Or
Yes,
was
well,
he?
we didn't know until like a very sort of late stage now. Like, you know, my mum's 86 and she only talks about now. My dad did ride a motorbike.
Right,
you know.
okay.
It was before. I must actually get more and more details on it than I should. Somewhere in the house, our mum's collection of pictures, there's dad on a bike. And
Yeah.
we'd like to find that one somewhere. Yes, but he did have a motorbike, and I think, imagine thinking, I don't know, my dad, I think he had a pretty serious accident on the motorbike.
Right.
So that was him off the bikes then, you know.
Do you think that's why your mum never told you?
Well, I don't know why, you know, we really, we probably, it was really, you know, when my dad died, it was hard and it was tough. I was 9, my older brother was 11, I was 9, and my younger brother was 7, you know, and it was really tough. So we had to like, probably not like now, the whole culture was different. You didn't talk about it so much. You know, we've lost Daddy, and yes,
Now we have to survive.
yes, we have to survive, we have to keep going.
To get on with
and
it,
yes, we would talk about Daddy, but not, you know, probably Mum and I nearly talks more about Dad now than we did 50 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, he died in 73, so that's like 53 years ago. He's dead this year, you know.
Yeah.
But I still remember him like yesterday, you know.
Yeah.
I was Daddy's boy, I bet, I suppose. And,
yeah.
and Dad was my dad because he had a wee blue invalid carriage, if I remember, the wee blue things with 3 wheels.
Yes.
And so my dad was a carpenter. And so he made a wooden seat and all beside it. So this wee seat that sat in beside in his 3-wheel truck, so I would sit in there.
Brilliant.
And he would pick me up from school, and when we were like building a new garage at home and all this sort of stuff, he would pick me up. My dad was he died of multiple sclerosis, and so he was like really, it was sad. In 3 years, right through, my dad and killed him. It wasn't actually multiple sclerosis that killed him, it was pneumonia, you know.
Right.
But it was a side effect of multiple sclerosis, you know. And so we would go to places. We'd stop outside the local hardware shop, and we go, I need 6, you know, we need a box of 6-inch nails, and we need spouting screws, I remember them, and we need this, we need 2-inch, and we need 4-inch stuff. And I'd run into the hardware shop thinking I'm great, you know. I want these, my dad, 4 bolts. And
so he was pretty hands-on. Even with the illness, like
just
build on at it.
Yeah, in his last year of life, he was in hospital for a whole year, really, with multiple sclerosis, because it was and you know, people didn't know enough about it, and he had all these. We remember we used to joke about it in the house, but he would be on, I suppose, experimental medicine nowadays you would call it, but he would have these gallons of, like, I mean, literally, seriously, a gallon container full of medicine.
What?
No, honestly, a gallon container we would have full of, and this would be some sample. So obviously, so we get a spoon a day or whatever out of it, but you know, or more, 4 times a day, he gets a thing. So no, this is true. We'd had gallon containers of whatever medicine Dad was getting.
Jesus Christ!
He was like a test rider.
So you know, and you know, things like that. So like, I've learned a lot in life, even though it was a hard life and stuff, you know. You know, we loved Dad until the end, you know.
Do you think he would have backed you all the way through motorbikes as well?
Yes, I think so, yes, because he was in a wheelchair also. So obviously with multiple sclerosis, you know, you're losing power of your legs down. And so, first of all, I remember it like so well. I was only 9 when he died, but so I was 6 when he got multiple sclerosis. And so you remember he was like on crutches, you know, to keep his legs stiff. So he's on crutches, that's no problem. And then that gets a bit worse, and he's on calipers. I remember he had calipers for his leg to try and keep his legs stiff. So then the calipers, so he'd lose the power of legs. He's in a wheelchair, you know, but he was still like a totally active man in a wheelchair doing stuff. And we used to race on his wheelchair. So we had a hill beside our house, you know. And so my dad was like, you know, he was full of life. He loved action too, you know. Obviously. And so we would be in the back of the wheelchair, you see. So the wheelchair, you know, you had 2 handles out the back, and there was 2 wee bits you could put your feet on. So we would stand in there and get the feet in the thing. We'd be racing down the hills, you know.
Well, your dad is in the wheelchair.
He's in the wheelchair. And so we'd be jumping on everywhere. And I suppose you can see now, you know, Dad was sick. Looking at it now at a much older age, looking back, if it was your kids. So, I mean, how he kept his spirits up, I don't know now. But so he was letting us, even though he was sick and he couldn't use his legs, we were still having fun, you know.
And he'd have loved that.
He loved that on the back. So each one of us would take turns down the hill beside our house in Ballisk, where we used to live, and jump on the back and go down. Then wasn't there, of course, a massive crash
Oh, flipping heck.
You know,
Just high-side in the wheelchair.
I don't know what happened, but we're him, us, everybody's landing crumpled up
Oh, no.
down the hill in the wheelchair, and Mom going berserk. She was only back up the road in the house, you know. I actually think, do you know what I think happened there? And I'm giving a check this. I think somebody was coming in a car and seen us, or somebody, the other sensible neighbours seen us doing this,
Right.
and went and told her. By the time she comes out, we're all
Aye,
in
you're
a heap at the bottom of the hill, you know.
Sick.
So
Touts out.
yeah, you know, that was, so we had to cool that down there, you
Yeah.
know. So Mum would be, don't dare do that again, you know.
Yeah.
Do you want to hurt your daddy? And he was saying, I'm okay, don't worry about me, I'm okay, you know. And
Yeah.
we'd be all roughed up a bit and went back to the house, you know. So
Clip
it was,
the back of the ear and don't be out of here.
yeah, blow the tires up harder the next time so we could go faster, you know. So
Yeah.
so really, you know, when my dad was down, you know, we didn't know he was down at the time, obviously. We just thought he's sick. We thought this was normal. You know, this is, our dad doesn't have use of his legs. You know, that happens to people, and get on with it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
You're so young.
then, unfortunately, in 73, he passed away.
Passed away. And so you got your first bike at 16, a wee AP50, did you say?
Yes, yeah.
And for one, do you remember how much that bike cost at the time?
Yes. Nearly cost me my life, you know.
Wasn't expecting that.
It nearly broke our family up. It nearly
Yeah.
ruined my relationship with my mum.
Oh, dear.
You know, so what happened in our family, we had my granda had a farm up in Balnock, and he had a local village shop in Laurelvale in the middle of the hill.
Yeah, yeah.
That was ours, Milligan's. So in the farm, my uncle Joe ran the farm up in Balnock, and he had 2 sons who still run it today, and 3 daughters. And then in Laurelvale, my uncle Ivan run the shop in Laurelvale with his wife Gladys.
Right.
So, but my mum worked there, and her sister worked there, and the whole family worked there. So it was a local grocer shop. We had the grocers, we had the butchers, and we had the post office.
Right.
And we had 2 milk lorries and a grocery van.
Flipping heck, you didn't have to go too far.
No, we didn't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So from I was about 5 years old, I was delivering milk, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So I knew all about, you know, everybody still today within a 10-mile radius of Laurelvale and Tandra. I know everybody's house. I know their pad, I know their front gate, I know who used to live there and lived there before them, and all that sort of stuff, you know, because just when you're a milkman, you know everything, you know everybody's house, you know when they change house, when they move house, you know everything, and which I remember. And so we do that, and then also in the evenings we'd weigh potatoes, and you know tea. I remember tea, you used to get tea in a tea chest, and you put that in wee bags and put it in wee bags and sold it all. And then also when you were like old enough, you worked in the butchers and you helped make sausages and, you know, skin sausages and do all that. So
Brilliant.
and then at Christmas time you learned how to kill turkeys and cut their throats, you know.
Lovely.
and pluck turkeys
Yeah,
and all this sort of stuff, you know. So that was really, you know, from I was old enough to know what I was doing, probably through from I was 5 to I was about 20, you know. So until I started working, we were always like working at the farm or at the shop. And then when I started working, you were still doing part-time. Like I would let my uncle Ivan have a Sunday off delivering milk. I would do milk runs on a Sunday for him, you know.
Yeah.
So we still helped out that way with the family. So anyway, that's how I got some pocket money.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Oh, and this is where...
So that's a long story
Yes.
for a short answer, really.
Yeah.
So that's where I earned enough money to buy a bike.
Brilliant.
To buy my first bike. And it was a guy down the Malahide Road. We delivered milk to, you know, everybody's house, and this little bike was sitting in the garage, an AP50.
Well, you already knew it was there.
Yeah, I knew it was there. And it was just getting the courage up. So to, look, will you sell me that bike? So it's really, really funny because I think the Yamaha came from the guy across the road, if I remember right. But anyway, so that's where the AP50 came. The guy, I remember watching him getting his bike. I think it would have been 1979. It was probably 78. Yeah, it was 78 when I got that bike, and I think it was a 77 maybe.
Okay.
So the people who know all about
Thought that
AP50s will know when they come out and all the rest.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the lad had an AP50, and then he got his car test. So he would, So he was now driving around his little car, and the AP50 was sitting in the garage, wasn't it?
Doing nothing.
You rubbing your hands together.
And you
So
wanted it.
I'd probably seen that there from I was 15.
Yeah.
I watched him, I can't remember if it's 14 and a half, whatever, but I watched this guy get his new bike, ride it for a year, then get his car, and that's it. And the bike was sitting in the garage. So then it was getting the courage. So when I was 15 and a half, I get the courage up. It was actually at the start of the summer. I wasn't September before I was 16, and this would have been the early part of the summer, June, when I got off for summer holidays.
Yeah.
And we started to do that. So I asked him to sell the bike. He agreed to sell me the bike, and I think it was 150 or 180 pounds or something.
Right.
I think that's what it was. Something. I would need to check the prices, but I think it was something like that. It wasn't expensive. It was expensive then, but not in today's money.
Yeah.
Whatever they were. The people who have a better memory than me will remember the exact prices, but I think it was something like that.
You wouldn't get one of them for 100 odd
No.
quid anyway.
No. And so anyway, I give him the money and we get the bike, and my cousin John, he brings the bike home in the back of the van. That's okay, it goes home, but where's the bike going to?
You never thought of this before buying it, did you?
No. We got the bike first, but in them days I used to run around with mates on bikes, you know. So I'm not going to tell you all their names because it's not for TV stuff. But anyway, my mates had motorbikes. They were a year older than me, you see. They were 17.
Right.
So whenever I was like maybe 2 years, they were 18. So they had a 50 some time before I had a 50. And then I had my 50. And so I'd go in the back of them. And so I was always getting a lift somewhere. We lived in the country out in Ahura. And so my mates would always be calling around to the house, and I'd be getting on the back of bikes and away you go. And Mum would be, be careful, blah. Yeah, Mum, of course. So when I bought the bike, I used to park it up in the church car park.
Right.
Oh, right.
So I would leave the house or come back with my helmet, and I would say some of my mates give me a lift home and all.
Right, okay.
All the rest.
Cheeky wee bugger.
So, but I shouldn't have been riding this on the road, should I?
No.
But I thought, it's no problem, you get away with that. You know, I'm a milkman, I know all the roads, I know everything.
Unstoppable milkman.
And there'll be no problem with this bike. So I buy the bike anyway, blah, blah, off we go, and I'm doing this, maybe July, August, whatever. But then I get caught.
Did your ma catch you?
No, the police caught me.
Oh.
I know.
Well, that's not as bad as your ma.
But
Sure she found out.
but it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse. So anyway, what was happening, I had this girlfriend from Portadown, and I was leaving her home, 2 up, on my fizzy. No, AP50.
Yeah.
First, right? And the police, back in them days, the police used to have road checks everywhere. You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I come on Knock Bridge, over the bridge, there's the police. Oh, Jesus. So I thought, no problem here. I flicked the bike round. It was a summer night, dark, but a wee bit of sight. I turned the lights off, don't I?
Phillip, you're killing me here.
I had to get away.
Yeah.
Didn't I? So 2 up in my 50, we're coming, we go, stop. Like I was almost right up on the checkpoint. And there, the red torch to stop,
Yeah.
You don't remember them days, like.
Remember,
But
like.
Oh no, I remember checkpoints and the army stopping you.
yes,
Stuff
all the
like that.
stuff. That's what it was. Thought, right, get out of here. So I spin this baby round and we go off. 2 up on the 50.
Doing about 20 mile an hour.
30. There's a bit of a slope down there. So I come up the end of the road, and it's, if you come over Knock Bridge heading towards Laurel Vale, there's a right and a left. The Bracky Road on the, I should know the Bracky Road on the other one, right?
Yeah.
And so I go right. There's a choice here, right or left. I'll go right. And they've got to make a choice.
Yeah.
So I have my lights off. I go right, go round the corner, down a hit, and the buggers followed me.
Right.
Oh, right. But it's okay. I know another trick. So on up the road, there's this lane called Horseshoe Lane.
Yeah.
Right. So I turn right up Horseshoe Lane. Thought, I'm away now, because I know all these roads. I deliver milk round them, don't I?
Did you have a bit of a lead on them at this time?
Yeah,
or?
yes.
There was a gap here. Like.
Oh, there was a gap. Oh, right. There's like a fair wee bit.
Right,
okay.
okay.
Enough that I thought
You disappeared.
I disappeared
Yeah.
out there and they didn't see me. So I turn up, but Horseshoe Lane. Up you go, but it's a hill up it.
Oh no.
It's up it there, right? They come to Horseshoe Lane, they turn right, don't they? How did they know I turned in here? You know, like this, there's no way. So I turned there, we go up the hill anyway, and now they're on my back wheel.
Oh, trying to get it.
I know.
With the signs on and the flashing lights and everything, you know.
Sake.
I think what I do, and I'm sort of stupid. I think, you know what, I know these roads. We'll get away.
Yeah.
Two up on a AP like.
Yeah.
So we come down the road, lovely down the sharp corner, still there now, and I get round that, and they were coming that fast. They ran on. Mm-hmm. They went right.
Oh, they overshot.
Like, overshot, yeah, down in the thing and nearly into the side of the house.
Oh, fuck.
So I thought, right, keep going.
Yeah.
So they had to. I remember hearing it spinning on the screen. They're spinning backwards to get back out of this wheel. They had to get on me again, you know. And
I'm sure your heart was racing.
Milkman mentality.
yeah. And anyway, coming out of Horseshoe again, it's up a hill, back out of it. Isn't it? So we came up a hill to get in, then down a hill round here, and back up, coming out. They're on the back tire now again. And I thought, right, so we're getting up the hill and the road opens out and I'm thinking where to go. So they squeeze up the outside and just put me into the hedge, you know.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Like
and they got you stopped.
Proper stuff.
Yeah,
Land Rover, you know. I'm trying to fight a Land Rover.
well, that's true, right now.
You know, the armoured plate Land Rovers and all.
yeah.
So I'm in the hedge.
I was just
wouldn't have
first
been
on the
felt
back
it.
of you.
Well, she's off now too.
Oh, right.
Flipping heck.
So we're both off, and if she's watching this video,
I can see the legs hanging out the hedge. Like.
she'll know all about it.
Yeah.
So we're both off in the hedge, on the ground, all the rest, and the police run out and they start to, you know, grab us and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm a girl, leave me alone. And they were going, they had the guns and all, because back in them days, people used to come up and shoot army and all this sort of stuff. So right with their guns and all, I'm going like, I'm only 16, I've got a motorbike, and she said, I'm a girl, leave me alone. And you know, it's like, because don't forget, this is terrorist days.
This is you're running away.
This
You're
was
running
the
away
troubles,
from a
like, whenever, that's what, like, it was only, you know, bad boys and gunmen that run away from checkpoints, not this 15-year-old on a motorbike. So,
I'm obviously out coming then.
so anyway, we're in the Land Rover. I actually think some of them rode the bike back to the police station.
Right.
So we're back to Portdown Police Station. So she's in there, I'm in there, and it's the full,
The whole scene.
Alan.
And like, don't forget in them days, you know, you were afraid of policemen, you know, they scared the life out of you.
Yeah, interrogation.
Probably that was part of the reason I was trying to get away, because I didn't want to face them. And, so anyway, we're in the police station. What a see-ho. So then now, obviously, they've got all my details, they've got everything, the truth. They know now we're just two idiots, but look, they're not happy, are they? So one puts her in a police car and take her home, right? And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, her mum's going to kill me, you know, right? And then the other one, they put me in a police car and they take me home.
And you thought, Jesus Christ, my mum's going to kill me.
I didn't want to go home. No. You know, my mum was like, even though we were wild, we were good kids. We were wild kids, but we were good kids. And, you know, mum, we love mum, because when dad died, I was only 9, and we done this little agreement between the three of us that, like, we look after mum till she dies. You know, nobody ever hurt our mum. Nobody do this. And also we won't bother her.
Yeah.
If we have trouble, you know, at school or trouble, we'll try to sort this out ourselves. You know, so that was part of growing up. We don't want to annoy mum. We won't give mum nothing to worry about. You know, we want all this stuff because mum's mum. And anyway, so the pull at the end of, I'll never forget it. My mum still lives there in that house today. Pull up at the pad. We've got the pad down to the front door, gate into it, and then the side, there's a double gates down the side of the house. The pull up at the wee gate at the front of the house, and the lights was flashing. I don't know why they were flashing this time of night. And we're getting out of the car. I'm double certain it was a car that brought me home, not a Land Rover. I can't remember exactly, because it was a trip that
you didn't want to be having.
I don't want this trip. This is a trip that just this is like,
It's the fucking worst day.
worst. I would have died. I just did not. I knew this was going to hurt mum. So I'm trying to think, what am I going to tell mum? How am I going to tell this? What's going to happen here? And as we pulled up at the gate and opened the gate, mum probably heard it. I seen her blind going back, you know, the blind going back in the bedroom.
Oh, flip. And the blue lights lighting up the whole street.
Aye. The stomach came right up into my mouth. It just, honest to God, shamed, everything. And we go down to the front door, right? And mum opens the door, and he had me by the back of the neck and said to mum, is this yours? You know, And all I could say was, Mum, I'm sorry, Mum, I'm sorry, Mum, I'm sorry. I just, I don't even know what happened after that.
Yeah.
I just repeated that. I was like heartbroken. I'd hurt my mum.
Yeah, more for
no
her.
one seen her face. It was like,
Is this when she found out you had a bike as well?
yeah. She didn't know how to bike to that
She
time.
did what?
No, she still didn't know how to bike.
Phillip, poor woman.
You know, it was like,
Was it? I take it went to the skip after that.
so it was into the house. I don't even remember the talk the next couple of days. I don't. That's the honest truth. Because now, next day, we're down to Laurel Vale, right? And my Uncle Ivan, who was Mum's brother and owned the shop, was like Uncle Ivan was like our father figure. And you were Uncle Ivan when he pointed at you, looked at you.
You were in trouble.
That was it. You know, Uncle Ivan was. You know, so Hammond, after I faced Mum, I'm going to face Uncle Ivan.
Yeah. Not a good couple of days.
Sick, physically sick, you know. So we agreed then to sell the bike. The bike had to be sold. So they sold like a bomb in them days. You know, you couldn't get them. That's why I just happened to know that one was in the house and where it was. So bike had to be sold, and I had to beg for forgiveness every day. And this probably was about August. And 22nd September before I was old enough to ride a bike. But look, I needed a bike.
Yeah.
I needed the bike because I was like, now I had left school. Maybe I had, still at school the first year I rode the bike. I needed a bike. I was transported. We lived out in the country. I needed a bike, and I loved a bike. So then I go buy another bike, right? And I'm double certain. It was a guy across the road. They were all well-off families in that area. He was the same age. He had a fizzy 15 FS1E, a yellow one with a black, the yellow one with
the
Kenny Roberts.
Yes, yeah.
He had one of them. So I bought that one.
Right.
A couple of months after this whole saga.
A couple of weeks.
Couple of
weeks.
Because don't forget that I'm getting close to 16.
Yeah.
You know. So I promised Mum, I don't know, I'd be good all my life. I'd never do this again. It was like just utter shame and hurt. The woman's face was wrecked. Like the police, if the police came to your house in them days, it was like,
you were a young
it was a crime. It was like the police only went to bad people's houses.
Yeah.
You know, and they're at our house. So anyway, I agree that would do this. So anyway, I get the insurance, I get everything, get my license, everything set up for my 16th birthday.
Yeah.
You know, and at 1 minute past 12, when I was 16, I was out on my bike.
Out in the fizzy.
The insurance was active, and I just go.
Brilliant.
And I rode a whole tank of petrol through it, filled it full of petrol.
Yeah.
Just rode it all night to, 5 in the morning or whatever.
Class.
Until I had no petrol left and back home.
Yeah.
You know, and then also I done my test. So I done my test that my girlfriend could go in the back. So there was, from then I was totally legit the whole way. But shame. Then next, of course, I'm up in court.
Oh shit!
It was actually
you don't get away with things
not
like
a slap
that.
on the wrist.
Oh no, slap on the wrist. This
dear.
is serious. So I'm up in court. I think it was only a couple of days before Christmas, you know, and by now I'd got a job and all, and so I did need the bike, and I was 4 charges, no license, no insurance, failing to stop, and dangerous driving or something, I think.
Yeah. Flipping act.
4 charges.
And how did we fare out?
And it was a juvenile court, right?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget it. So we had representing me back in them, suppose like nowadays, we had not a solicitor, he was like somebody from the police or somebody, or maybe he might have been a solicitor and I didn't know then, but he would represent me. It was like
or like a child welfare officer.
Yes, probably that's a good word. A child welfare officer was there representing me in the court, right? And I remember an argument starting between the judge and the thing. So the man saying, look, he's never done this in his life before. He comes from a good family. He's a good boy. He's now got a job. He needs his license. And I remember going, but the judge, he must be punished. He must be punished. And then the thing was saying, but he's got a good family and he's got a job, but he must be punished. He needs his bike for work. He must be punished. I remember between the judge and whoever it was. And I got fined £4 by £1 for each charge. Right.
You got off late there.
I got £1 for each charge. That was serious in them days.
Yeah.
And and also I got banned for 4 weeks on each. So I got banned for 4 weeks on each thing and got fined £1 for each thing. Right. But the 4 weeks was allowed to run concurrently for the 4 charges.
Right.
Okay.
Could all run concurrent.
So you're 4 weeks off the road.
Yeah, so it's 4 weeks off the road.
Brilliant.
Where I had to get a lift to work.
Flip's sake.
And then 4 weeks came back on the fizzy.
Back on the fizzy again with the head down going, you know. But it was
So technically, then that was your first road race? Racing a meat. You know what I mean? Racing a meat wagon. Up the road.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. You know, but it was
Just a shame you didn't win the
That
whole.
was a DNF.
yeah, I lost that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And so anyway, they told me, right. So anyway, we're getting back. I think this was in the police station, or else in the police Land Rover. I remembered. I said I couldn't work it. I goes, here. How do you know which way I went? I goes, how do you know I went that way? How do you know I went that way? They go, oh yeah, effing stupid. I goes, well, I thought I was being smart. He goes, you've got a brake light, haven't you?
Oh, for flip's sake.
Class.
I didn't even take on to that.
Nor did I.
So you're on the anchors and saw you went right.
So I got a brake light.
You're lighting up with flipping.
Yeah, because if I wouldn't have touched them brakes, I'd have been away.
Jesus Christ.
And you learned I used that ever since.
Yeah, I don't touch the brakes.
Don't touch the brakes right now.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
The progression then from you got your AP got sold, then the fizzy, then I imagine just kept going up 125, then up to something.
I kept going.
And you were you stand on the road and get something bigger before you went racing?
I was getting faster and faster.
You were getting faster and faster.
Faster and faster.
So you had no choice but to go racing. Really?
Yeah, well, that is the truth. So my last bike was a GS 1000, right?
Right.
A GS 1000E.
Wow.
Right. So I'd progressed up and up, and to be honest, I was a bit of a wild kid in my bikes. So there'd be big. I remember I had a KE 175 Kawasaki, like a trail bike, one of them. And I remember in the olden days, might do it now still, used to meet in the car parks, in the big car parks.
Oh, yeah.
All the cars would meet on Sunday night and all the stuff. And the boys in the cars, you know, my mates in cars. And then when the snow came along, there was always racing, you know, in the snow.
Right.
So in that car park on the roads with the snow, I used to race my mates in the car on my bike.
And you're on a bike.
Oh, I'm on a bike. They'll tell you, the mates, like, so this thing I'd be sitting sideways, sliding, like, you know, proper speedway style, proper stuff in the snow.
Lock to lock.
And I could go around the outside of some of these cars, and I would actually be beating some of these cars in the bike, sliding, having the time of my life, because I didn't realise, but I was pretty good in the bike, you know.
Yeah.
So
you just mucking about.
Aye, that's right, just mucking about, going and going. So then that got going, and I started, my last bike was my GS 1000, but I wanted more, I wanted some more speed, I wanted something, so I started motocross, right?
Oh.
But this was just for fun. So what I knew nothing, I didn't know anybody motocrossed, I didn't know anything, and it was my mate Davey Hamilton. So what we done, Davey was into his car, so he had the RS 2000s and stuff like this,
Nice.
and I had the GS 1000, so we were both like
on par,
fast and stuff. And so I bought a motocrosser. I think he got a motocrosser too then, or we got a couple of motocrossers. I got mine anyway. I bought a CR 250.
Yeah.
So I did, and I'm trying to think, is that the one I got? I can't remember if that's the one I got cheap off the Coal Man, because the Coal Man got a motocrosser, only a new motocrosser, and he came off it and broke his shoulder.
Oh, right.
And Herbie Witten and his dad went mad and made him sell it, because how do you carry bags of coal with a broken shoulder?
Oh, that's sick. Yeah, so, that's true.
I think that's how I got that one. I think if it's not that one, it was another one. So anyway, we'll go out. At then time, Craigavon Lakes wasn't there. That's where everybody done their motocross practice in Craigavon Lakes. That was, none of them houses were none there. So you'd be right down. That was all like wasteland.
Like
that was like all hard ground. You could race there. You could do what you like.
It's good in the push bike.
Well, you were just like a nutter, and the wind bushes and all the rest, you know. And we used to go there, and I'd be quick. I'd be like the quickest out there. And I remember Davy's mate saying, you know, who's that by? That goes my mate Phillip, because what I didn't realise, there was like motocrossers out there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's actually boys who race?
Aye, actually
and you
boys
weren't
who
racing then?
No, I was riding all over them all. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, I was out there like, you know, who are these boys?
You were hanging
I'm
out on the road.
Riding around them, you know what I mean? And one time, I'll never forget it, the throttle stuck flat out on it, right? Don't know why, stuck flat out. And I'm going... What am I doing
dear.
here? So I just put it right into the middle of these big wind bushes. Remember the big
Yeah, the big jaggies.
and that's how I stopped it. But I got some beaten, So anyway, I thought, so it was Davy's mate, John Lynn, who used to paint cars in Lurgan. He goes like, you should be having to go at the racing. You should be having to go at racing. Well, he's going all right there. He should be having to go at that.
Yeah.
So then, okay, we'll have to go at this racing stuff, I didn't know much about bikes or anything. And so we went out there and we started to do well, we used to go to Sunday because there were black meetings on a Sunday. So I had no license, I had no nothing. I'm just a hillbilly. And,
Just a milkman.
just a milkman. And Davey, so we would go out, we'd have the trailer on behind his car and out we'd go for a day's, motocross and I started to do better and better, but I learned a lot of lessons too. So I was starting to love this, you know what I mean? And I was doing good, like,
Like being competitive.
being competitive, up there and all the rest. And then the boy told me, you need to turn that tyre around. Your tyre's done.
Right.
I go, tyre's not done.
Still knobbly.
Tyre, still knobbly. He goes, no. This was, I can't remember if this was during the race. I think they might have changed it because I was doing good, but like the tyre was, I didn't know, because the knobs were still on her. She was completely rounded. She was well rounded.
Okay.
So she was all rounded. That goes, but look, still plenty of depth there. Look at that, still an inch of rubber.
Plenty of beef on her, yeah.
He goes, no, Phillip, that's how it works. You look at that one, he says, that's a square edge. That bites and that round one doesn't. I thought,
right,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like, don't forget, I'm an engineer and I know all about bikes and how they work, but a lot of stuff you don't know that if you don't know about it. 'Cause I had nothing to do with racing. So anyway, they turned the tyre around. I thought, right here, well, we're on it now. So this thing, I think I started maybe near the back and I'm coming through like a bomb, like we're doing brilliant, you know what I mean? We're riding over everybody. Yeah. But this climb used to go up, right? I thought I'm getting faster and faster. So there's this steep climb. It was a place away up. I tell you where it was, Dundrum, up near on the Belfast road toward Newcastle. There's a lot of wasteland, big land there. And I think they still maybe...
Oh, we're up around Mount Panther direction. Used to be a motocross track, like Seaford type direction.
If you're on that road, if you come through Castlewell into the Belfast road and then turn right and go up there, well... The black meetings used to be in some of that land and the hills up there and stuff.
I've heard about
and
that.
There was other really hills. Anyway, there was this one by, and I thought, I'm doing good here. We're pepping these boys all one by one. So I started while here more. Well, up that climb, say in the race before it, I'd be in like maybe third gear, spinning up a thing.
Yeah. Before you turned your tyre around. Uh-oh.
You're going to be 10 mile an hour quicker than you were.
I'm probably going 100 mile an hour quicker. Right. So as I then starting to come through, I'm welling this thing flat. Well, I go up this hill by maybe in fourth gear by now. Not even, because I just take off.
To the moon.
Orbit.
Yes. It was like, oh my God.
Came down with snow on him.
You know what's happening, don't you? She's going up and up.
Oh no.
And I thought, oh no. But I still think I'm going to save her, but I don't know how. I mean, this is going. So I could see the bikes below me. Honestly, I don't even know how high it was, but I could see the bikes below. And I thought, oh shit, right. Now I was worried because the bike was coming up and it was coming back and back. And I'd never done this before. I thought I'm going to be killed.
Oh, you had her pinned.
I had a pin. Right. So then I'm trying to figure out, and don't forget I had to learn everything the hard way. I'm trying to figure out, how do we stop this bike coming like this? She's still coming. We're going up and we're still going to the sky and we're coming back. So I knock it off, right? And I'm jumping over the front. So I need to knock this off because, just had learned wee bits, and I'm getting over the front, right? So I'm getting over the front and I'm now actually feeling good because she's starting to level out. Now I'll figure out, I've taken it bit by bit. Now I'm going to figure out how to land. Right, I've got her up. We've got her straightened. We've saved the whole show and we're going to figure out how to land. Well, hadn't it overdone. She just went down nosedive.
All these equations going on in your head.
Yeah, trying to work it all out. I'm an engineer, aren't I? So...
And out for the sunroof.
Oh, no. Did you bail?
No, I'm still on it. I'm just still trying to save it. I didn't know to get off. I'm still trying to save it, aren't I?
Like a true racer.
Into the ground head first.
Oh no.
Right, and the shoulder, I just felt her breaking. I felt it just snapping clean off. I was just into the ground, but just broke her clean off down in the ground.
Oh.
Thought, shit. Disaster. You know. So anyway, I went to work on Monday. This was Sunday.
Right.
And I went to work on Monday because I'm loyal. Don't forget I'm working 100 hours a week stuff. And I'm carrying sheets of stainless steel. And I had to get I had to jam them under my arm because don't forget the shoulders broke. Yeah. You know, they're on this side.
You not go to hospital?
No, shit. I had to go to work, didn't I? I'm always Sunday sore, but I hadn't actually.
That's hardcore. Like.
You know, I didn't know about broken bones. I didn't know how it all worked. I couldn't tell Mum, could I?
No,
you know,
right enough.
There's enough shame on
you couldn't tell Mum. So I had some pain. So anyway, I went to work the next morning, riding my bike again, you know, to work. And so my boss, Jim, he goes, "What's wrong with you?" I goes, "Nothing," you know. And he goes, "You crashed that bloody motorbike, didn't you?" I goes, "Well, I fell off, but I'm all right." He goes, "Get to the hospital, there's something wrong with you. Get there now." So he chases me out of work.
Right.
My work was in Seco Industrial Estate, which is right beside Craigavon Hospital.
Up the road,
2 minutes.
Yeah.
So up we go to Craigavon Hospital, man, she's broke clean off, you know.
Flippin' heck.
So
you trying to hawk steel about for...
But I was still back the next day, we're strapped up, hunking with the other arm, you know.
Brilliant.
So then I reckoned, and I thought it's too dangerous. I goes, it's too dirty.
Yeah.
It's too dirty and it's too dangerous. Look, you can get hurt. So I knew people who road raced, like Wolsey Coulter was a road racer then, you know, and Mark Farmer.
Yeah.
We all went to school together, but they started racing before
I
I did.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Didn't know that.
Me and Coulter, we used to race our fizzies.
Yeah.
Like we would
Right.
race, we would take a day off school, we wouldn't, or we'd race to school and then we'd go to school, we'd both ride our bikes to school and then we'd maybe quit at dinner time and then we'd just race all day. You know, like, just race all day. And I remember thinking, you know what, I'm a better rider than he is, you know. And, you know, because I would like beat him in our road racing, like the pegs trailing the ground, everything.
Yeah.
One morning going to work, I'll never forget it, the roundabout at the end of the Kilgamian Road up towards the college, not roundabout. Yeah. Round there we're going by and I lost it, you know. We were going round that way and the whole thing went sliding up the road, but we think nothing of this, you know. Well, Christ, black trousers just like these, right? Didn't our new school trousers, I ripped the whole leg out of them.
Burnt the side off yourself?
Back to a disappointed mother.
Alright, what am I going to tell Mum now?
Oh no.
It was like, I've spent my whole life shaming my poor mum. That's why I've got to look after her today.
Yeah.
So we'd be racing away and my ankle, I remember taking that ankle right to the bone, you know.
Oh no.
And the trousers, because you can get your school shoes on, you hadn't you, and all your stuff, and Wolsey and I'd be racing away, so we're starting to drift all over the place.
So Wolsey was racing at this time?
He was racing then. So motocross, that's not for me. It's not for me. It's far, far too dangerous. You can get your shoulder broke, you can get injured, and look at the dirt. I'm not doing that. So right, that's motocross and hitting the head. I can't remember if that was that year. I think that maybe that was...
And you only been 16, 17, 18.
I'm trying to think then. When I got that motocrosser would have been a year later or two. Yeah. I was maybe near... I was, because I was 20 years old when I had my GS 1000. So I was 20, 19 or 20, and I had the motocrosser. So I had my motocrosser to go crazy on and my GS to go crazy on the road. Yeah. But anyway, what would happen by it was getting bad, because on the way to work in the mornings, if I didn't get 140 mile an hour somewhere down the Market Hill Road, that baby didn't hit the limiter going to work.
What's the big GS?
If she didn't, it mightn't have been 140, but the clock had set.
Yes.
The clock. So if I didn't get 140 somewhere going to work, it was a bad day.
Is that not a real fucking windy road?
Well, there used to be a Burke's, a corner Screeb. There used to be a humpback bridge there. That's another story. You used to guys get her straight up there by, you know, and that was 100 mile an hour. Like, it wasn't 140 there. Yeah. That was 100, the clock straight up in the air. Yeah. And a curved corner and lander and back down again. Nice. And then in the wet, like one time I cut a back tire off that in 300 mile. I used to get the tires off John Henderson on the Guildford Road. Yeah. John sold everybody tires, and Orly Watson used to work there. Orly was killed at the Tandra 100 riding a bike way back years ago. He started a race, and so I got it was I went to John's on the Friday or Monday. John needed a new tyre. The canvas is showing, you know, starting the thing. He goes, "Phillip, I'm not going to have one to Friday."
Right.
I had to ride in that tyre.
On the canvas.
So by the time Friday came, it was just on the canvas. There was no rubber
yeah.
left on it, you know. And so I got that new Avon Roadrunner that week, and in 2 weeks, 2 weeks, it was the most expensive. I couldn't afford to run the bike.
Yeah.
This is the truth, because
You ever think of slowing down? No.
that was.
I believe this was the super bike of its time.
Oh, it's time. It was like in the whack. I had to just be passing cars, the man road sideways, you know, this way,
Yeah.
and you could see people looking out the window,
Thinking this not bag.
you know. But I was having fun. It would just spin. You could just spin it and spin it and spin it everywhere.
Yeah.
But that was sore and tire. So I used to spend. This is the truth. I spent all my money, like for a year nearly. Petrol, because I'd done a lot of riding, chains and sprockets, because you wore them off, they weren't like they are now, brake pads and tires. It was just my whole
You
wages
just worked to consume
nearly
your
went for
fucking
to
bikes.
get my bike, so I thought we got to do something here. And then I had a couple of crashes. I had a big one where I hit the herd of cows. You know, it's a different story. It was,
This is starting to sound like some like flipping
funny,
Postman Pat or something.
funny, the still, it's a great story, and it's been spread through the generations of people, you know, and but it's true. So anyway, I'm going to work on my X7, right? I had an X7 before that, obviously, building up my 175, then my 250 X7,
Yeah.
and then I had a new X7, and it's another story. So, but anyway, the first X7 I got, I'm going to work. I'm down the road, flat out, round the left-hander, 70 mile an hour stuff, and there was like, I'm not saying it was a bit of an agreement, but Andy Newell's cows were there, right? And you had there was different cows then. There was things cows on down the road. So, but his cows always went. He was like, say, 7 o'clock in the morning. He would have his cows down the road, and I'd be coming at 7:30 the other way.
Yeah.
So all I had to watch out for was shit. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because cows do their poos, you know, walking
When
up
they're,
the
when they're
road.
shifting
From the
fields.
field and to get milked.
Yeah.
The milking parlour. So anyway, what happened this morning? The milkman came along and was talking to Harry Newell and kept him late, didn't they?
Oh. Bloody
So he
milkman.
was running behind schedule,
So
but he didn't
he
tell
was
you.
running behind schedule and I wasn't.
Flip's
I'm
sake.
flat out.
You came
knowing
late.
his cows are already gone.
Yeah.
Right? Round Newell's corner, down there, tap her in, X7. Oh no. Oh. I like it.
You like it?
All over the road.
Oh no.
Andy Newell's cows. Thought, shit, how am I going to get her stopped? You know? So I just thought the only way I've got to throw it on the side. I'd done lots of crashing other stuff and all. Not so much road bikes at that time, but, you know, crashing off-road stuff.
You knew how to crash.
I knew how to crash.
Yeah.
I thought, shit. So I tip it flat on the side, right? We're both sliding down the road. And you're talking about cows, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 cows.
Jesus
Road's
Christ.
full.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
way, you know,
Like
cows shouldn't
Skittles.
come up the road. Yeah. Taking the legs off.
You hit them?
Oh, aye. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, aye. It was
Jesus.
like-
And how many
it was
cows went
bad.
down?
Oh, there was cows everywhere.
Did you get a strike?
It was like, so anyway, I just took the legs. I'm sliding up the road. The cows are sliding, and the bike went into the front, and I went,
Flipping heck.
right? So this is like, this is crazy. Now I'm landing the road, not knowing where I'm going. The cows are everywhere. I don't, what do you hear this? My sandwiches were all over. Lunchbox in the back of the bike. Sandwiches all over the road. Seriously.
Sandwiches and cows.
Yeah, it's like this is a mess. This is like I'd shit everywhere.
Corned beef and brown sauce.
What did Andy think of this?
Now, so I get all the cows. So Andy's behind them down there, and there's a row of cars behind him because don't forget, bikes
like
hold
them
up cars.
going,
So there's maybe half a dozen cars. Andy, half a dozen cars, Andy, cows, then me. Well, these cows are everywhere. And they just had come out of the field, so he was still back behind the gate. So I get up, thought, right, I better tidy this up. So I get up and I get the cows all herded up, and I think I put them back in the field.
Right?
I get them back up, and Andy's still standing there.
Really? Gobsmacked?
Aye. He doesn't know what happened. He's never seen this in his life before. And I'd never seen this in my life before, but I don't forget I'm supposed to sort this all out. There's trouble here, right? This is trouble, honestly.
Yeah. You just got
And
straight
then
up.
by now, the people's out of the cars too. So I get my bike gathered up.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I packed the bike up first. I got the bike up on the stand. I got to the side of the road. I get my lunchbox, but there's no sandwiches. And the cows are in the field. So I walk up to Andy. This is back down here. So I'm walking up the road to Andy. He's still standing there, you know.
Yeah.
And Andy's grandkids still know the story today. Right. So a few people know the story. So what happened anyway then? I get the cows back and say, Andy, what are we going to do now? I said, I've got to get to work. I'm now late.
Yeah.
Right? So I've got to get to work, Andy. You've got to get the cows in. Can I call and see you on the way home tonight?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
To get your sandwiches back.
so I jump on my bike and I'm way to work, you know.
Jeez.
And I go into work and Jim sees me coming in again, a bit roughed up. My leather jacket is roughed. My trousers thing. He goes, right, Philip, what are you even doing? I was, Jim, it's all right. I slid off. Couldn't tell him about the cows. You can't tell people about this. So anyway, I'm sort of shitting myself in work all day. And
Yeah.
I get into work and I'm busy because I'm thinking about work, but still this thing keeps coming back into the back of my head about these cows, you know, and what am I going to do? And then I got on with work and forgot about it to get me through the day's work until home time. I came back into them and I'm sort of sick.
Yeah.
You know, my stomach's churning. I
Wondering
didn't
consequences.
know if there was any cows dead. I didn't know if the legs was cut off them. There was also blood about because the bike had maybe cut wee bits underneath the cows and stuff as it was going up the road.
Cut the rutters off you.
Well, I think it was a wee tit cut.
Cut the tits off you.
And, so I'm now like, you know, I'm a good person. You know, I didn't want to hurt Andy or his cows.
Oh, no, yeah. Of course.
It was just
I wake
accident.
up one morning and I'm going to run into a load of cows.
a load of cows today.
So
Right, so
anyway,
you got back down there.
I get back to Andy and I've parked my bike outside the house and it's like now 5:30, 6 o'clock and he's got the cows in milking and I go in and actually, he was actually very nice about it, you know, because I think here's what happened. I thought I'd killed Andy's cows and I'm in trouble and he thought he'd killed me and he's in trouble.
Right.
Okay.
So you were both shitting each other
Yes,
up
I
there.
think
Right.
he was just as petrified. He's making sure, are you okay, Philip? Am I okay? Are you okay? Is your cows okay? No, are you okay? No, don't worry about me. Are you?
Yeah.
So,
Poor Farmer Andy was flipping bricking it all day.
so I think he was worried that he had killed me, but
Right.
I was wrecked, and I was worried I had wrecked his cows and all the rest. So we shook hands and we talked every day, but for about a couple of weeks, Andy had to walk the cows down the road at night. They had stiff legs and sore legs and
Physio.
physio. So Andy had to give us cows for a couple of weeks, and we still spoke to each other every single day for a couple. Andy, you still okay? Yeah, yeah, I'm okay. Is your cows okay? Yeah, no, they're getting better. You had two of them on a rope round the rope. And so this went on for a few weeks. Until Andy was happy his cows was better. I'm happy I'm okay. And then we're friends and away we go again.
So you didn't cry over spilt milk?
No.
It just came into my head. Right?
That's a good one. So no crying over spilt milk. And then, so that went on, and that wasn't talked about. You didn't, you couldn't tell people you had the cows. And,
No.
And there was a wee bit of talking around the country. The people that was there told people, but it's not like now, that neighbour mightn't have seen that one for a while. So it wasn't like the internet was all
there's
over
no
the
dash
world.
cams,
Thing.
like.
No, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was it. Forget about this. Don't talk about it again. And then about 20 years later, the uncle and the lad, they're managers now in electrical shops,
Right.
So they are. So my mate, who's Phillip, I was told a story the day in the shop, but it didn't sound true. Is it true? He's an electrician, my mate.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I was worried to hear it. He told me where I heard it.
Yeah.
I says, who told you it? He told me, who do you want?
Yeah.
One of the Newells. I says, it's true.
100%
Every word of it.
Class.
I says, I'll tell you the story back and see if it's the same one.
Yeah.
Identical,
word.
word for word.
Brilliant.
Class.
They told him
Unreal.
about young McCallen when he was young, killing my granddad's cows. So it was...
It's all part of the apprenticeship, though.
It was still part of learning about bike and survival and stuff and all the rest, but the better one, all these people are dead and gone now, so we can talk about them. So
Oh, right.
I'm on my X7, Burke's hump. No, I'm not sure if it was the X7. It might have been the GS. I don't know why I thought it was the X7. It might have been the GS because it was fast. But it was X7 because it was light. But anyway, we come over and Burke's of Cornish Screeb. There's Burke's of Cornish Screeb. There's a river went under their yard stuff, so there's a humpback bridge on it.
Yeah.
It's not there now, but Burke's of Cornish Screeb, and the way it comes down, the road's all straightened out now. So it used to be a humpback bridge and a corner afterwards.
Right.
So I'd be up that straight up in the air every morning, perfecting it, beautiful, straight up.
Yeah.
Not only that, when she landed, I'd have to bank her over to get round the corner.
around, yeah.
So I'd be up straight in the air, banked over to follow the road right round and on to work.
Yeah.
And then that's the next bit down there. We get her up to 140, the big bike, before the next jump, before Watson Pub. And so we're flat out. But you had to get that at 100 to carry the speed, to get the speed down the next bit, you know.
Right, okay.
And so Postie is coming the other way.
I heard about this.
This is
I
the
think
truth.
I've heard this.
So I get over the thing straight up in the air, and Postie's coming in his wee van there. Well, you want to see the face on him, right? All he could see was a bike. All he could see was underneath the bike.
See your belly pan.
Looked like it's coming towards him straight up. I could see his face, and I'm on the bike because I'm laughing. I'm still smiling. I'm having the time. He's pure white. His face is pure white. I'm watching it all. You know, you can at high speed you learn to focus all the time.
Yeah.
Don't you? Pure white, right? And I just seen him grabbing the steering wheel to turn her left.
Yeah, stick her in the hedge.
Aye, well, he stuck her in the hedge, but the ground at that part, that field used to be below the ground.
Right. Oh, right, okay.
Down she goes on her
Oh,
side.
no.
Oh no.
Did she roll?
Well, I didn't see her roll. I just seen her go in the hedge on her side, and I went to work.
And run.
I was laughing for a minute or two because I didn't think he was going fast enough to get hurt. You know, I thought he's not going to get hurt. He's down on a bike. He's in a van.
He's in a van.
He's gonna be all right. Not be hurt and all that. I just seen him going into the hedge. I didn't see what happened.
After.
You know, I go on to work, right, and I do the day. I forgot about it. I forgot about it. Because my trip to work's
Thought
exciting.
nothing of it.
Work, you know, work's always crazy, and I love it every day. And I'm coming home at night, so I come home. We all used to come back to Uncle Ivan's, come back to the shop for a tea because Mum was still there to 6 o'clock at night. So Auntie Gladys would make teas for everybody.
Right.
So we'd all go back there for our tea at night, and we need young lads. You need fed in them days. You know, you need proper
Grown boys.
your beef and potatoes and vegetables. You know,
Good hearty food.
good tough stuff.
Yeah.
So I pulled up at the shop, parked my bike. You could hear me coming. You know, parking the bike in the alleyway beside the shop. I come through the front door and Uncle Ivan was standing there.
Right.
And I knew Bez's face there was something wrong.
Oh dear.
You know, and he just points
It
and
was
he
that
says,
point.
he says, "It was you. I know it was you. It was you. Get in that back now. It was you." And he gave me some doing.
Flippin' heck.
So what happened? It was the talk of the countryside because there was no post, was there? So the post,
Oh, I didn't even. Oh, flippin' heck.
so that man delivered the post and collected the post. He collected it at our post office. He collected it at Horry post office. He collected Tandra post office, and it all back to the main sorting office in Portadown.
Yeah.
So the mail wasn't collected and the mail wasn't delivered. So the whole country, what was wrong? Postie got put off the road. Somebody in a motorbike. The story wasn't as good as mine. But, you know, the bike was on the wrong side of the road and Postie was put off the road. The van went in and on the side and had to get lifted out by one of Burke's tractors. And
The whole day ruined.
Uncle Ivan,
sick.
he went-
Logistical
he
nightmare.
went berserk. So now I'd let bloody Uncle Ivan down too, hadn't I?
Yeah. So then, did all this have to equate to going racing?
Aye. So
Stay
it
off the road.
just got worse and worse. You know, someday there was going to be a bad accident.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someday I was going to get hurt. You know, someday it's all going to be over. I didn't want to die.
Oh.
But I wanted to go faster and faster, you know, so there had to be a limit to this. So that was it.
You had to find a happy medium.
Yeah. So the deal was, my mate Davey helped me make it up because he's into cars. The deal was, I sell the GS, I buy a Ford Fiesta and a trailer. So the GS is sold, get good money for, I buy a Ford Fiesta and a trailer.
Right.
So that's me now. I'm going to be my own racer.
Back to grassroots then.
Yeah. Get the bike and the trailer and we'll go racing.
And so then, what was the transaction then? Was it 125?
Aye, so sorry, that was a year later, that one. So what happened, that was the middle of that summer, I'm going to go racing. So I bought a wee TZ 125
Right.
off a bike called John McCullough
Right.
in Portadown.
Yeah.
He wasn't a racer, but he had bought it and stuff, and that was it. And Davey, my mate.
Yeah.
So Davey me and Davey would go racing, put my bike on the trailer, and we'd go racing.
This is Davy Hamilton.
Davy Hamilton now.
Yeah.
And so that was me started racing. So I became addicted to it then, right away. That's it, I'm addicted to it. Loads of stories there. So that's when then the plan was, I was getting the thrill out of racing better than I could on my road bike.
Yeah.
So then that's it. So we sampled maybe a month or a couple of months of that towards the end of that season. And then that's it. Now in the winter, GS is sold, cars bought, ready for the next, that was 84. Yeah, that was 84 I started. And then this was 85, new car, well, new to me, trailer. And I think I got, I'm not sure if I still had that 125 or I got another one. I still had that one maybe. And because I didn't know, I was learning all about the bikes. And that was it.
Oh, was it? That was the start of things to come anyway.
But even that went wrong.
Why?
Really?
So me and Davey is racing. So now, so I've focused my racing. All my mates, we all know about it. I'm going to be a racer. So car, thing like that. But we used to go and play. So I tell you what I bought. I wanted more speed. This is it. I wanted more speed. So I bought a TZ 350.
Right.
Lovely.
And I'll tell you who I bought it off, John Giffen and Davey Beatty. They owned Band Motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
They owned the bike. And Trevor, he's going to kill me for forgetting his name, Trevor Steele.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, Jamar,
Right.
sure.
Jamar, he won the Ulster Grand Prix on the bike. It was a TZ, I'm not sure if it was a knee or what it was or whatever it was. So he won that Ulster Grand Prix in that 350 and I bought it.
So it was a proven bike.
That was a good bike.
Yeah, I bought it off John and Davey. So at home in my garage was my TZ 350, my car, my trailer, and I'm at it. I'm already starting to train. I was always fit then anyway, like, because you're fit without knowing it.
Yeah.
But I started to train. We used to have a beer and all on a Friday and Thursday night and Friday. No beer, no nothing. Not drunk either, but you had a beer with the lads.
Yeah.
And
No,
we
cool,
played
just-
pool. We used to play pool and drink beer and go home. So no beer, no nothing. I'm going to be a racer. But we were in Tandra Thursday night. We're still going, even though I was straight, we'd still go and play pool
Yeah.
on a Thursday night.
Just-
Yeah, in the Farmers Inn.
And was this in 85 then?
This was 85,
Yeah.
January 85, right? We're in the thing, but we're always, like me and Davey were racers, really. Davey's a good car driver and he drove hard and he knew how to drive and I was a good bike driver. But so anyway, he's got an XR2i
Right.
and I've got a wee 1300 Fiesta. So we're racing. So out of the pub, we finished. I was going home to my house and Davey was giving Percy a lift home. So we go down Tandra Street, down past the police station, flat out down there, side by side, right? I'm on the outside, Davey's on the inside. His car had more power than mine, but we were going down.
Yeah, the racing lane.
I'm on the outside, down the hill, flat out. And just before just like on the entrance to the corner, the tarmac changed. There was a line across the road, said this was new tarmac, this was old tarmac. It was night, it was frost.
Oh, no.
We're probably doing, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 or...
Black ice?
Don't know what it was. The minute we hit the tarmac by straight on.
Oh, flip's sake.
That's Dr. Good's house there. You'll know it's stone wall, all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
Big stone house still there. Well, so he thought I was dead. Davey gets up the entrance, right?
Oh, right.
So there's the stone wall. You'll know it's still there today. Entrance up the middle, stone wall there, right? So we're side by side. I'm on the outside, he's on the inside. We just both go straight on. Nothing we could do about it. His car just happened. He's straight up the drive into their drive, nearly racks their house up into the yard. I'm straight into the wall.
Flipping heck.
I went to a solid stone wall with a bank behind it.
Like at 60 mile an hour.
He could tell you what speed, but I'm sure it must have been.
Jesus.
You
Was it
know,
a racking job then?
I never woke up for 2 weeks.
What?
You know,
You were in coma?
for 2 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
So what happened was, I was straight into the wall. The engine, right? So I'm in here. The engine comes right in, doesn't it? Like the engine is in here.
Through the bulkhead.
This foot is jammed underneath the engine, between the clutch and the engine. This foot's broke to a million bits.
Jesus.
Right? Smashed up like a jigsaw in here.
Yeah.
Right? The engine's in here. Right? Everything's racked. I'm in the car. The steering wheel is bent right round where I've prepared for impact. I'm preparing for impact. My sweatshirt is cut right down there and right across there. Seatbelt in there, and I'm racked in the car. Right. Well, that's the good bit. But what happens now?
Oh, sounds wonderful, yeah.
Gets worse. Right. The exhaust goes through the petrol tank.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
So they'll tell you still, so she's going,
Oh, dear.
the petrol's dripping onto the exhaust. So
It's like
they're
a scene
waiting.
from a movie.
Aye.
I can picture it
Oh, it's a
in my
proper
mind.
one. I must now, like years later, I must ask Davey
Aye,
the proper
bit more
version of the
about it.
story. All you know. So anyway, there's petrol there. They think my neck's broke, everything the way I'm lying, and obviously there's no noise out of me, no nothing.
Yeah.
you know.
Aye.
And
He thought you were
For the
dead.
first time ever.
First time ever.
thanks, Corey. And
P45.
yeah, in the morning.
Oh, fuck.
And so anyway, I don't know nothing there. I don't remember nothing about it. I just remember playing pool. I don't remember leaving it. That version of the story has came from the boys.
Yeah.
And then the ambulance comes and they get me out of the car, and I'm away to hospital. You know,
And you didn't wake up for 2 weeks?
I don't know exactly how long.
Yeah,
now, but
yeah.
it was a long
Was it?
time.
Sorry.
Oh, aye. So there was like head injuries. Lucky there was none, but just everything squashed. But this foot was racked. She was like a jigsaw.
Now
Smashed
was
to
your
bits.
gear changing foot?
Yes, aye.
Yeah.
This one here, just like smashed into a million bits. It was so bad. They were going to amputate it.
Oh, dear.
You know, that's the truth.
Yeah.
They were going to amputate it. It was like a
Was it?
mess. You've never seen a mess like it in your life.
And how did
seen-
you convince them to keep the
well,
foot?
the doctor had a go at it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the foot was, I'll never ever forget it. The foot was like a football, the size of it, broke to bits. And there was pins all, like, there was about, I think the pins were right through and out the other side. There was pins, there was, I don't know how many, 3, 4, 5. I remember like there was definitely 3 or 4 coming out of each side. I don't know if that was the same ones right through or what. Anyway, but so it was sore, as you can imagine, right?
I can feel it.
But then, do you know what got worse, right? As the weeks went by, like weeks, not days, the swelling went out. And as the swelling went out, by the pins started to bust through. That's why I didn't know there was pins in there until the swelling went out.
Oh, my God.
So as the swelling went out, by the pins just bust through, you know, just, and the pain until they got through was nothing normal.
Oh,
Nothing normal.
Jesus.
You know, like,
Porcupine.
look, that's why his foot's a bit of an odd shape, you know?
Yeah.
She was smashed into like a
you wore
million,
2 left shoes.
a million bits. So this is in January 85. But now anyway, I've woke up and I'm realising, you know, I need to get back to work.
Yeah.
I've no money. And not only you've got no money, Phillip, you've got no car either.
How long
enough,
ago was this?
This was 1985.
So
January 85.
your transport for towing the 350 was now rode off, so you just have a trailer and a bike.
Aye.
Plus you have no money, plus you're wrecked.
Yeah,
And this was meant to be your first year of full competitive racing.
yeah.
So what
And I have to go
happened
back to
then?
work.
And
So I had to sell the 350.
Oh, no.
So the bike, I owned that 350. So lucky they bought it back, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because there's been people queuing up to buy that bike in the
Right,
days.
okay, so because-
you know, so that was no problem. So I had to sell the bike back, and the money I got for the bike I had to buy a new car.
Oh, no.
start from
I
scratch
start from
again.
scratch again.
That wasn't a good start.
No. So then I hadn't enough money to buy a 350. I would know that was a year later, because what happened, you know, I couldn't walk.
I had a long time getting better.
I
like.
couldn't walk, and this foot wouldn't move. And I remember going back to the doctor maybe 6 months later and going, doctor, can't walk. I mean, like I was living on ibuprofen tablets and all in them days, and the pain. But I'm way back to work. Like I think about 4 weeks later, I'm back at work, you know?
That's sick. After being in coma.
Yeah, well, on my crutches.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So that's what I need the car for. I need to get back to work, get the money, didn't I?
Yeah.
And so anyway, I remember I'm back to the doctors in about 6 months, and goes, doctor, you know, in trouble here. And he goes, well, the only way we can stop that pain, is cut the nerves or something. Going, right? But he says, well, cut the nerves and you're going to have no movement. So do you want some movement and some pain, or do you want no movement and no pain? That was
Right.
like the
Aye,
short
that
of
was
it.
your two choices.
I'll never forget it. I think Mum came with me to the hospital that time. And I remember, like, you'll never walk right again, you'll never run again, you'll never do anything again, you know. And I remember walking down, I remember the very walkway in Craigavon Hospital down with the tears running down my face, thinking, my life's over.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years of age, you know, my
And you're going to have
foot's
this gammy foot for the rest
for
of
the
your
rest
life.
of my life, you know. Thought, right. So then I started to read a lot. And I'll tell you what well, I believe to today I still helped it. I started taking cod liver oil, and I still take cod liver oil today.
Yeah.
Not as much as often as I should. But so what I'd reckon, don't forget I'm an engineer, so we need lube in these joints.
Yeah.
Right? We need lube in the joints. And the only way to get lube in them joints was...
P did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cod liver oil.
Cod liver oil.
Yeah, cod liver oil. That was the only thing. And I'd read many, there was no internet in them days, so I'd read it in papers and books and lots of stuff about people who had, old people who had taken cod liver oil and, their skin became moist again, or, people with arthritis who had taken it and it became better. So I thought cod liver oil. So anyway, I started my cod liver oil.
It's worth a go.
It's worth a go, isn't it? Nearly drunk and stuff like.
Yeah.
And slowly over, it was like months, it wasn't days, but over months, I could walk again. And I was off my painkillers, that's the truth.
Brilliant.
And you think it was definitely like the cod liver oil?
Well, that was all it took.
Yeah.
And willpower, of course.
Determination.
Yeah.
And so over, like, it was months. That would have been, say that was mid-year, so that happened in January, maybe July, back to the thing. And then, so by Christmas, or the start of the next year, I'm walking again. And I could run again.
And
Stuff. And the pain was a bit of pain, but like down to a minimum, compared to what I had. And that foot, like, we take it off, still all where it was smashed up. And so I thought, right, we need another bike. So I didn't have enough money to buy a bigger bike, so I had to go back and buy a 125 Yamaha. And I bought it off a friend of Courtney Junk's.
Oh, aye.
Gary.
Did he race himself?
Yes, he raced it, and he was selling it. He was quitting racing, and he was selling it.
Right.
He was a friend of Courtney Junk's, because Courtney Junk was my friend by now.
Yeah.
And so I bought that bike, and off we went. So I only got 2 or 3 races at the start of that year. And I think short circuits, because it was the start of the year.
Yeah.
And I had to do something like 6 before I could enter the Tandra G100.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that the kind of goal?
Yes, you had to do 6.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to race round them circles. It was okay. Like,
Right.
I had lots of crashes doing that stuff. But
Yeah.
I wanted proper stuff. I wanted out in the road, same as going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't forget I rode these roads to work every day. So why could I not be good at it?
This is a touchy subject here.
Yeah.
I know.
Car park racers here.
Easy. Fuck's sake, man.
I would run round circle. It wasn't value for money. I like value for money.
Yeah.
I like when I go out on my bike, I don't want to go out for 10 minutes. Like, we go out mountain biking now, and we want to do 20 mile. We don't want to do...
I don't want lap of the lock.
Yeah. We want to get value for money. We want to get a couple of hours of fun,
Yeah.
So you not get that round circle, you get dizzy.
Yeah.
Fall off.
So you got your 125 and you wanted to get your signatures.
I wanted to get I had to get 6 or something before that, and I didn't have it, only 4. So, but because I was a member of the Tandra G, the North Armagh Club, they'd done the deal that, the entry was like weeks and weeks in advance.
Yeah.
So they gave me an entry under the condition that it wasn't made public, this sort of stuff like, but they gave me the entry on the condition that I'd have those other 2 done before the race started.
Yeah.
I might have been, I can't remember if I did get them both done or as one short, but anyway, I got started at Tandra G100. So that was my first ever road race in that wee bike, And
that's Tandra G, as we all know now.
Tandra G, as we all know now.
Yeah.
1986. So don't forget.
Is that not like a mental road race?
It is. It's awesome.
Like, for your debut, like, it's not, you're not just...
Well, see, I thought it was easy because I lived there, didn't I?
Right, no, sure.
There was nothing hard about this. And what happened really then was Courtney Junk was my friend, because Courtney Junk in between this rode for Tom Heatrick in Tandra G.
Yeah.
And I got to know Courtney well.
Yeah.
And Courtney liked me for my determination and manners and whatever, And so what all the road races, that whole year, the deal was, because, see, I wasn't stupid, really. I wasn't going to piss about. I'm not going to spend years learning all this stuff.
Oh.
I'm here to race and win, and we need to do it as fast as possible, but as safe as possible too, So I know I can ride the bike, that's not a problem. We can prepare the bike, that's not a problem, but I need to know where I'm going, So, and there was no videos, don't forget, in them days, there's none of that stuff.
No onboards.
No onboards. So Courtney was my man. So Courtney, Tandra G was the first one. So a couple of weeks before the whole thing, I'd pick Courtney up, or he'd be at Tom Heatrick's. And then we'd get in my car and we'd go round and round and round and round and round the Tandra 100 course. And he'd tell me, Phillip, break there, do that there, be there. Well, if Courtney told me, like, I mean, he could have killed me if he liked, but if Courtney told me it, you do it.
It's going, yeah.
That's it. You're going to do it. Because Courtney was a good racer, you know, a good road racer in them days.
Yeah.
And 8 years of experience. He would have been top flight man at that stage as well. Like,
Oh,
so
he was.
you had no reason not to believe him.
No, and people were afraid of Courtney. Like, Courtney was determined, you know, Courtney would have took you out, you know.
Right,
I would have been aggressive.
Oh,
type fella,
he wanted to win. He's like everybody else. He needed the money, you know.
Yeah.
Put the money in. So anyway, he done this. So I nearly, before I started the Tandra Gi, I nearly knew I'd raced there. Because you just can relate. You relate it all. His speech, his corner to the speed, and you adjust it all in your mind.
He was that good.
You just adjust it all in your own mind to suit, you know, the way you wanted. So I started. I think I would like to know exactly, but I think it was somewhere in the mid of the B group. I started.
That back.
Because in them days it was A, B, and C group.
C group, yeah.
So, and like there'd have been 30 in a group in them days. So I started in the middle, somewhere I think about the middle of the C group, you know, and it suited me because it was wet, not because it was wet, but it meant, you know, a slower bike's
Slow
better.
pace to learn.
Evened it up.
Yes, I evened it up a bit, you know, rather than because, and the people were like in them days, like Robert Dunlop on a new Honda, you know.
Yes, fresh machinery.
Yes, and the like of Brian Hewitt on his bike, and the like of all them boys in their 125, you know, Robert being the leader. There's a couple more good road racers too and all there. And off I goes anyway, you know, my little red and white 125 Yamaha.
Yeah.
And I was having a good time by picking them all off one by one, you know. And then I got this massive slide. I thought I've lost it. And my bloody mate from work was watching at the same corner. Right? And it was down after you leave Bell's Crossroads, you turn right and you go around there, and then you dip and you go left, and as you start to drop down the hill to the left before Cabras Corner, you know, you drop down the hill.
Oh,
there.
lovely part of the track, that.
Well, there was shiny tar and that.
Yeah.
But I was always, you know, taught to use the lines, but also stay off the shiny tar.
Yeah.
But for the line down there, you had to cross the shiny tar.
Yeah.
And I thought,
when you're crossing the road.
yes,
basically.
you knew you're coming back in that corner. That's actually where Orley Watson was killed. He hit the telephone box. There's a telephone box there in that one.
Right, okay.
He hit the telephone box there. And so anyway, I tip it in there, don't know why, just me head down, stuff coming through good, like the thing went sideways.
Jesus.
So I'm sliding down that road sideways for I don't know how long, right? And I remember
Too long.
it was like, I related it back to like when I was sliding my bike in the snow, my GS in the snow and all,
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
And I don't know how, it was a bit of luck as well, obviously, but that thing was sliding down there sideways. You know,
125?
Aye, 125. And then I got her straightened up again. But then when I got her straightened up, I had to tip her in to finish the corner.
Yeah.
You know that, you know the left-hander, and then you break
so you
it
didn't
hard
hit
for
the
the
bank.
right.
And what gear would you be down there then?
What are you doing? Jesus.
Is it
You're doing
fast
70,
part, like?
70 or 80.
But third or fourth gear.
All right,
yeah.
so you've got your momentum to keep you kind of
God,
going
aye.
a bit.
So I get through good. That was the start of me. So there's this hillbilly comes from the middle of the B group to fourth overall.
Yeah.
So I finished fourth
Right.
in my first ever road race.
So that was
Sick.
like a proper impression
Oh,
for
aye,
your
that was-
first
that was
national
proper
race.
stuff.
Like,
Jesus Christ. What did everyone else think about?
Well, I didn't really know anybody
got
else to, you know, my friends, I thought we'd done all right.
yeah.
Right?
You know, we'd done
Happy
all right. Courtney thought I'd done brilliant. Like, you know, Courtney thought this was some go.
Oh, God, aye. Yeah.
And but I didn't know enough other people then, but everybody thought like this is definitely the kid on the block here.
Yeah.
Anybody who can come on the bike was let's get this right. That wee bike would have been a 78. That wee bike was about 8 years old.
Right.
We're not talking about
8-year-old Yamaha.
8-year-old
Yeah.
Yamaha.
It wasn't 1 or 2 years old. Like it
Oh
was.
no, she was an 8-year-old
So it's
Yamaha.
definitely like a pretty impressive performance. For
Anybody who's in the real world knew,
I knew
you know,
that.
that's like a tractor racing against that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were nearly laughing at you before
yes.
you went out to race.
Aye, but they weren't laughing at
but
the
they
end of
weren't
the day.
laughing
No, they
after
weren't.
it.
You know, I suppose that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They were near laughing at me.
Yeah.
You
And
know what I
then
mean?
their
Stuff.
tails between their legs going home.
So after that,
Fair play.
And surely after the performance like that, were you getting any help, or were you still doing everything off your own back and
I'm
your
still
mates?
just doing it myself. Me and my mates. I had a couple of local sponsors who, gave me a couple of £100 each, which was a lot of money there.
Yeah.
And, a couple of local farmers who, had money.
Yeah.
Would give you a couple of £100 stuff, But that was me hooked. That was me.
You knew what path you wanted to be taking then.
That was it. So that was all when I worked, I was an engineer, so metal, so it was all good, and I just, within the next race was, I think, so that was, unfortunately, I'd set myself a tough target, fourth.
Yeah,
that's true.
it was nearly too good of a debut.
Fourth in that, so you couldn't do worse than that. I must actually look through the results all to see, because I have them all, written down, stuff, but I think I didn't do worse than that. But my good thing was, now you see, I started with the A group. So right
you had
away.
a toe.
Oh, right, yes.
So after that performance, how could they not let you start in the A group?
Yeah.
Because the clubs.
Oh, there's no qualifying.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, how did the see back then? Was it?
You were
like
graded. You were
yeah,
graded.
you were graded then.
Yeah, aye. That's how you got it.
2 laps and away you go. That's what Trevor and
I don't even
Jeff was saying.
remember getting the 2 laps, really.
No.
I remember getting. I can't really ever remember getting practice.
Right. Jesus
Is that
Christ.
right?
I can't.
Surely you had
somebody
one.
need to correct me or something on that.
Did you have to do practice, but or was it? It was
I'm sure it would help. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't know
Well.
that, like. So you were
you
graded.
might
You
only
put your
got one
entry in.
race. You might only have got 1 lap, before the race.
Right. Flipping heck.
I think somebody with better memory than me would need to tell you, like.
Yeah.
But so I was with the A grade boys now. Do you think they were going to get away from me? But I would but don't forget, I'm still on an 8-year-old bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're pushing nearly twice as hard.
Yes, so that was 86. So I'm now we're here, we're in with these boys. We're getting there, and so I need a better bike.
Yeah.
So I think my brother helped me maybe with some money. So at the end of that year, I bought a new to me 125 Honda. Right, I'll tell you whose it was. The Smiths used to live in the Ulster Grand Prix course. Right, Stephen and, sorry boys for forgetting their name. Well, one of them was killed, I think, at the Ulster.
Right.
And you can look at all that up.
Yeah.
And I bought his bike. So I bought he had a new 125 Honda. What year was that? I say there 86.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was them Hondas were out 86. The sort of like a steel frame one.
Yeah.
And I bought his. So at the end of the year, I don't know, I'd borrowed some money or got some whatever I
you got
got.
something
Got
together.
the money. So for the last road race, I got a Killeen.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought, right, I'm going to be teaching these boys today. On my new Honda.
Yeah.
New to me. It was it was only a year old bike. It was a fresh bike. Maybe it was an 85, but I think it was an 86 bike and all, and that was 86. And we started off here, and I'm on it.
Yeah. Your
And,
confidence was high.
Yeah, so this was my first race with Robert Dunlop.
Right.
I'm here today.
Yeah.
Killing
Yeah.
So we're racing away. I think we were first and second, and he crashed. And I thought, right,
You've won this. Got this in the bag.
Yeah.
he crashed. What happened? Didn't I crash?
Oh no.
Oh,
That's sick.
It might have been a couple of laps later. I
Whereabouts?
crashed. I can't remember. I think I locked it up on the brakes. I was getting to be pretty good on the brakes, and you were trying more and more and more.
Yeah.
But I slid off at Killeen.
Flips.
and did you have it in the bag? Like, were you miles ahead of each other?
I can't remember exactly, but it was like I was there going to win.
Yeah.
And everybody's seen it. I was going to win.
Yeah.
Flips sick.
And so that was where we thought, right, I need a better bike. We now need it's not me, it's the bike.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I see. You only got this bike for the one race, and you're always looking for.
I'd bought it.
you bought it.
I bought
CD.
it, but so I knew I'm competitive now.
Yeah.
Give me the
confidence
same
was
bike.
still high.
There's me right at the front on a new bike. So what's
You want
hard
to throw
about this?
everything into it now?
Yes, we're going to go with the full works here.
Yeah.
So that was 86, yes, and 86, and was good. So then, so then I teamed up with Matt Lavery, and John
So this
Wilson.
was the start of Matt Lavery.
Yes. So we done a deal. They were big into the bikes, him and John Wilson. So they said they'd buy me a new 125 Honda if I run it.
Right.
Brand spanker.
Brand spanker. The first of the aluminium frame 125 Hondas.
Yeah.
And that was 87.
I was 87.
Oh, was that out Timmy Allen's at
Yes.
the time?
I was
Yeah.
out at Timmy Allen's.
Yeah.
Was 87? Was that not your first Manx?
88. That's a different
88.
story.
Was
We'll
88
get to that
Manx?
one.
So what happened then, 87, was, right, I got my new 125 Honda. Right, we're going to be in here.
Yeah.
All singing
We're
dance.
going to be on it. There's nobody. So, but flipping, I bought it by, and it didn't go. We done a couple of short circuits and we couldn't get it going right. I thought, shit, we're changing everything, doing everything we're trying to learn, and it wouldn't go right. And I think we just got it going by the Tandra 100 morning. And you know what it was? The rotor was on the crank, only half on the pin. So,
Right.
So the rotor would move.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it was
So
dancing there.
sometimes it would go right, and sometimes it wouldn't go right.
It was advancing and retarding itself.
And we were changing and doing everything by, this was like a couple of short circuits up this, couldn't
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
going right.
yeah.
I think it was just that night. Back in them days, we tested the bikes on the roads and all at home,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I think it was like literally that night or something before the Tandra 100, we got that bike going right. By accident, we must have been going to strip the engine down more. That, you know, took the rotor off. Jesus Christ, there's what it is.
Yeah.
Put it on the right thing, put it on up and down the road. Yoo-hoo.
Away you go.
She's flying. With Tandra being the first road race of the season then?
Yes, Tandra
Yeah.
used to be the first one. It was
That was before
first.
Cookstown.
It was first Saturday in May.
Right, okay.
It was
So that
always the first one.
The kickstarting the road race campaign then?
Yes, Tandra was the first one every year.
Yeah.
And then I think that the Tandra used to be there, and then the Cookstown was next. Wait,
Yeah.
Right, okay.
before the Northwest, I think it was. If you look at the dates, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's kind of vice versa now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes,
well, they did it a few years ago.
Well, see, they took over Tandra's date,
Yeah.
didn't
Right,
they?
okay.
But Tandra, I think it was 2018? No. 2018
I don't
or 2017. Tandra was the first road race.
Yes, right
then
up
it went
until then,
Cookstown.
Tandra
Yeah,
was always
first.
Yeah.
Tandra was first, then
Yeah.
Cookstown now. So
Was Tandra
then
always
swap back.
special for you, Phil? Like any time you raced at it, since it was so local, like was there something a wee bit nicer for it?
it was just nice to race at the home one.
Yeah,
you know, in
yeah.
front of the whole people. You wanted to do good. You wanted to do
you wanted-
well. You wanted to win everything and do it. You know, it was a bit of pressure on you because But to be honest, nobody could put more pressure on me than myself. So
Yeah.
it didn't make any difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't matter where it was or what it was. I just want to ride, and I want to do well, and that was it. So that was then we started. That was the fair and square, not fighting, racing with Robert Dunlop, because Robert was the boy.
Yeah.
He was a good rider and he was a good road racer. So that was that. We were just at it, just hammering tongues.
Was it friendly?
It's rivalry ever friendly, like
It's like we still spoke and talked and all and get on all right. Well,
But you
Liam
weren't best
Beckett
mates.
used to be his thing, but obviously he knew I was trying to win races, and I knew he was trying to win races, so there would be respect. But still, he's a rival.
Yeah.
It means stuff like that.
You wouldn't go looking for him in the paddock,
Well, no,
unless the two of you came clashed.
we had no reason to, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
Like, we had no reason to be best buddies. We weren't in the same group of friends or anything like that.
Ah, well.
We were, my friends were there and his friends were there type stuff. And he had a big associate of friends that I wouldn't have had. Don't forget he's Joey's brother.
Yeah.
And he's been mixed up in racing from he could walk.
Yeah.
Whereas I was new to this game. I mean, totally new to it. My family, I didn't know anybody in racing.
he had his full entourage, like
Yes,
you're
I
the new
hate
kid on the
everything.
block,
I was like a little stranger coming
Yeah.
into town, So it was Matt Lavery who had been mixed up in racing with Raymond Hanna,
Right, okay, yeah.
who introduced
the
me to it.
125,
Yeah,
250,
and then I rode a 350 for Tom Heatrick a couple of times, So that was my Tandra group of friends, and then I had to experiment and go further afield and everything, So 87 was a good year. Actually, I was never supposed to win, so probably first and second would have been the 125 results all that year type things, 87, and then I rode Matt Lavery. So I had that 125, and then I rode Matt's 250. He had an old 250 Rotax.
Yeah.
So he had that Raymond Hanna used to ride for him.
Weird machine.
So I started to ride that. So I was riding the roads on the short circuit. So I had his 250 Rotax on my 125 every week to ride everywhere, every how, and what it wasn't supposed to do, actually won the 250 race at Cookstown on his Rotax.
Flippin' heck, right?
Yeah, in 1987.
And that wouldn't have been the bike to have at the time, no?
Oh, no, like your EMCs was the bikes and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
You know,
It's strange, they had the same firing order and all, didn't they? The pistons came up and down.
Yeah, that was your Rotax engine. You remember,
Yeah.
like the not a parallel twin, an inline twin.
Inline twin,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and disc valve feeding into the side of it and all.
That was real weird.
Yeah,
Kinda.
but when they went, they were the fastest thing out there,
Yeah.
you know. So I remember I won the Tandra 100 and the foot peg came off halfway through the race. So
On the Rotax?
in Rotax, and I think I fought that one out with Michael Swan.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
he was on
Scott's dad.
he was on
He wouldn't have held back any.
no, he was a goer.
No, he was an operator.
I think he was on maybe the Kimco. He was on Moira Club's 250 maybe.
Yes, that's
yeah.
right. They had like a Kimco 250 or something.
Yes, I think he might have been on that. You know, of course he was going to win, wasn't
It was a
it?
rocket
Yeah.
ship, that
I think
thing.
there was maybe a couple of the top boys missing. Yeah, I think it was a couple because they were getting ready for Northwest.
Right, okay, yeah.
There was a couple of, so it was wide open for somebody else to win.
Yeah.
But I remember that there, but oh Jesus, it was tough because a foot peg come off, right? But not only that, the suspension was too soft and the wheel was rubbing through the seat,
Oh, flip sick.
right? So every time we'd bottom out in the thing at the Cookstown, the old course, right?
Yeah.
And when I was okay when I was standing on two pegs, but when I didn't have two pegs to stand on, I had to sit in the seat.
Right.
So this is the truth. The wheel came right through, burnt through the fiberglass and burnt through my arse, burnt through the leathers. That's the truth. So this thing's bottoming out and I'm getting my arse burnt.
Yeah.
Flip sick.
No wonder you're going so quick just trying to get the fucking
trying to get off.
Can you imagine changing direction in the Cookstown?
I
when
would
you
know
want
foot peg.
That's true.
You're trying to fight this thing around. You're trying to pull
Would that
the
be the old
bars.
Sherrygroom circuit as well?
The old one, the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
big one?
7 mile one,
Yeah.
the fast one, you know, down over the back and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that was my hard learning at the Cookstown.
Flip sick.
You know, so when we're now in the rostrum spot in, you know, the lower boys. That was 87. So I was Marotax and the 125 was competitive. So fighting at the front with her and getting to the front every time I got a chance on the old Rotax.
Yeah.
Ringing the neck over.
So then that was 87, good. So 88 was like my year.
Yeah.
88 was the start of it. So a friend helped me buy a 125 myself.
Right.
125. So the deal with that bike was that friend got the money back at the end of the year, which was good. So the bike was sold, was always their bike, it was always stuff, and they got the money back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I'd run it. And Matt and John then bought a 250. That 250 Honda,
So
that's
the Honda's currently
Oh,
sitting
that one
downstairs.
there.
Yes,
Yes.
sitting downstairs
Yeah.
and Phillip McCallen's the one.
Brilliant.
38 years ago.
Flip.
Matt and John bought that bike. So they bought the 250, so I had a brand new 250, I had a brand new 125, so I was going to be good. And then I had a 350, a TZ 350 from Bobby Campbell.
Right.
But I didn't realise, I had to learn all this stuff the hard way, you know. So I was going to be on it. So basically, from really that year, I think, you know, I won at the Tandra. Yes, that one, I beat Reedy. I beat everybody. So the Stephen Culls, the Joey Dunlops, the Brian Reeds, the Noel Hudsons, I beat them all.
And that's the first race of the season
In
in
all,
88.
in all the national races.
What do you
Yeah.
think, like Phillip, was it just because you had good machinery and you had a number of years experience and your confidence was soaring? Is that what made the
I
difference?
just, you know, I had the thing each time was, it was, well, before that, obviously I didn't have the experience at the start, but I had the determination and the will, and I must have some sort of
you were
skill,
going to make it work.
Yeah.
you know, so I was going to make it work. So it was just like, I mean, you know, every time I went out on that bike, there was nobody going to stop me,
Yeah.
you know, so I done that. So I won like the Tandra, the Cookstown, maybe a second in there, but you know, first and seconds all through that. And that was 88. I'm trying to think what happened in the TT in the Northwest that year. So-
when did you make your debut in the Northwest?
That's what I'm trying to think.
You did the Manx, but surely you
No.
done the TT or the.
I think, I can't remember that bike at the Northwest. So anyway, the deal was that year, what happened, there's a wee guy called Nigel Hale down the road who was killed at the Manx Grand Prix. So him and he started racing before me, but I was caught up with him and started to beat him. Well, he was going to do the Manx Grand Prix in 87. This is why we talk about the Manx Grand Prix. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So he was a good road. I tell you what, I was racing against him and I was up competitive with him, and I have a 250 Rotax.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
And he had a better bike. So that's why we didn't do the Manx Grand Prix in 87, because my bike wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Right,
Got
okay.
it.
So you-
And there was other riders going to do it. At this stage, and I didn't have enough experience, so it automatically worked out. He'll do the Manx Grand Prix in 87 and I'll do it in 88.
Yes.
I didn't know what on.
And you kind of gauge yourself as well.
Yes, that I'll be ready for. He had, a couple of years more road racing experience than me. So he's doing 87 at the Manx. And of course, when you're going to the Manx, you're going to win it.
Yeah.
So you weren't going to be fighting out with the boy you raced against every week. So when he was going to lose,
Yeah.
and my bike wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
So that was it now. So
You didn't want to waste your time.
he done 87, and unfortunately he lost his life at the Manx in 87.
Right,
Right.
okay.
Glen Helen, I think it was, and which is sad. He was a good guy. So 88 anyway, we start them bikes running. I cannot remember what happened. Why that bike wasn't? If I crashed or something happened. That bike. No, I know what happened now. 88. Northwest 200, so I'm ready for it, aren't I? Yeah, I'm the boy.
Yeah.
I've been winning all the national road
Yeah.
races. I'm beating the Joeys. I'm beating all of them here. I went to the Northwest out in practice. I'm like in the top 10, I think, straight away. I'm a 250. On the Thursday night stuff, I'm in there and I'm feeling happy because I've done my homework, I've done all my stuff.
done it, yeah.
And then I get on my 350 Yamaha, right? And I'm now wringing the neck off that, and I get the biggest highsider coming out of
dear.
the
Oh,
chicane.
no.
Fuck's
Right.
sake.
Yeah, so I remember now exactly what happened.
Just on the clutch on the way
Just
out.
getting it out. But I was fired for 6, right? I would do this foot here, right?
Yeah.
So this one's recovering.
Yeah.
This one, Northwest, ripped the side right out of her and broke her off clean across there.
Oh, fuck. So your debut, this was your debut?
That was my debut at the Northwest
no.
200. Yeah, and what happened was I learnt the hard way. Didn't know it afterwards. My 250 was on the latest 17-inch radial tyres.
Yes.
Okay.
And my old 350 was in the old cross play, 18-inch
Oh,
cross
yes,
plays.
lanes. So the grip difference?
But I didn't know that, did I?
Yeah.
I was just
You're just
You're just riding it,
I was just
racing,
riding.
pushing.
So everything in my life I've learnt the hard way. So that's me, boy. Foot broke clean off across the middle, boy. Side took out of her and right across the middle. So that's both feet.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
Fudged. You know?
Okay. This was like the first night of practice, like?
Probably Thursday night.
Yeah.
I don't think we had a Tuesday then. Maybe it was just
No,
Thursday
just a
night.
Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was then.
Yeah.
So that was it. Foot broke off and I'm
Busted.
out, boy.
Another rack and match.
Aye. So, and it was 350, it wasn't my 250.
Yeah.
Because that wee bikes had basically no crashes at all, really.
Yeah,
Right.
well, you look around
And
it
be-
now and it's immaculate. Like,
it is
you know,
showroom
anyone who wants to
condition,
come
like.
into the show and see it.
Yeah, she's sitting down there.
it's meant
She's a beautiful bike, you know. So that was that. 88. So I've obviously missed the Northwest, and then I went to the TT. So I did. So look, we all went to TT.
As a spectator.
As a spectator,
Get
a bit
looked
of a
around.
partying. And Billy Neal, the Neal lads who play the football, their dad, we were all friends. Francie Neal's brother.
Right, okay,
all
yeah,
them.
yeah.
He carried me around the TT because what happened on the foot, right? It gets worse. Then they get an infection in the bone.
Oh.
So we're now
So
in
that's
trouble.
another foot nearly
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
amputated.
this-
Like, so you don't have any good feet then?
So this foot, you know, it was probably when the whole sides cut out of her. You know,
Yeah.
like she was just cleaned off down the side
Yeah.
and broke across there. So the infection was in the bone. So I'm now on antibiotics and injections, all sorts of thing. And I've so I have to keep the weight off it and let it heal and all.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry for forgetting his first name. So he carried me. So Matt was there, John was there. We all went to the TT and partied the bit out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
me with one leg.
And you were a
Yeah,
backpack.
hopping about.
I piggyback around the place.
Yeah.
So we said anyway, look, this time we're even more determined. We're going to the Manx Grand Prix and we're going to win it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, yeah.
So that's it. There's no, we're going to Manx Grand Prix.
You had the mindset.
And
that
did
was
you do
it.
any preparation before going to the Manx? Like, did you
Yes,
go
yeah,
fly over and do a
From-
few laps?
Like the start of that year, roughly, right? Every time I had like a weekend off
Yeah.
when I wasn't racing, on Friday night, on Friday night, I would head off to the Isle of Man, fly into the Isle of Man, and I'd hire a car.
Yeah.
And I just drove round and round and round. Again, And looking back on it now, I think how stupid I am. Right, petrol stations all shut them days at 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I used to go to the petrol station at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, fill the car up to the neck, go back to my hotel, go to sleep to 12 o'clock at night, get up at 12 o'clock, and then just drive round till there's no petrol left.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and then go back to bed. And then get up in the morning again and drive round. But you had to be so careful, because if you're caught doing that and disturbing roads or anybody, you'd be like, the clubs of one, you get no entry. If you're doing that, you will have no entry.
Right.
So in the daytime then, I would drive round again. I got my petrol, but I never thought, it was only years like later I'm talking, well, I should have got a giant can of petrol, shouldn't I? And filled the tank up.
Kept it in the back.
Just kept going.
Right enough.
Never
Right
thought
enough.
of it. Just
Did you still have like the Courtney Junk influence, or were you doing this solo, just trying to work it out?
No, well, when I had that year, when you had the sort of first year over, yes, we would do some stuff, but I didn't need it.
They didn't need it then.
You know, because I'd done all them circuits in 86.
Yeah.
You know, well, I'd got help from like Courtney a lot in the big, like the Northwest and stuff. And by the time I went to the TT, so that was that year anyway, that was 88. The Northwest. So after the Northwest, then the next race back was Scaries.
Okay,
So that's the 1st of July.
Yeah.
So I was smashed up, what's that, the middle of May. So 6 weeks later is the 1st of July, ready to go racing
Back
again.
out again.
Back out again to go racing at the Scaries. And it was like the race of my life. And don't forget, I've done nothing. I haven't even been able to walk from Northwest to this. So we'll go to Scaries. I nearly have to be helped on the bike, you know, because this foot's wrecked and this one's still recovering. And we get on the bike, and we only had enough money left. This is true. So I've no money. I've been working for 6 weeks, right? And I had enough money left for 2 tires.
That's
Right,
That's it.
for the bike, that's it. So I bought 2 soft rear tires. So we used to buy a medium tire, you see, and that would do you the whole weekend's racing.
Yeah.
Right, but I wanted to win.
This was
you want to be competitive.
this was your chance.
This was I needed to win that, and there was something like £1,000 for the first person to do
£1,000?
Yeah.
In the 88?
Yep, you check back to the prize money. There was something like £1,000 for the first person to do a 100-mile-an-hour lap.
Oh, right.
Right.
I'm double certain. Check it all back.
Yeah.
£1,000.
£1,000. And what would that be like? £1,000 back. What was the wage in the 88?
Well, it'd be like 10,000 now, wouldn't it?
Aye, so it was worth throwing an extra rear on her.
Yeah,
Like.
I didn't care. I was going to get it.
The gambling man.
Yeah.
But the most serious man to get it was Stephen Cull.
Right.
Right.
So Stephen Cull just came back. He had won 2 or 3 Northwests. Right. If you check the
He was
records,
really
he
on form at this stage.
He had also went to the TT, and I think he won 2 TTs.
It was his year.
I think he won the 250 at the TT and the 500.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm double certain. You can check the records. I think he had definitely a couple of Northwest wins, because I'll tell you, the Northwest, what happened is a famous race. He fell off at York Corner.
Yeah.
He fell off at York Corner, and Joey took the lead.
Yes. He got
That's
back
right.
on.
He got back on the bike,
on.
and he
That's
caught
right.
Joey, and he won the race.
He won the race.
right.
Yeah.
That was 88.
I was the 88.
And then he went on to win, I'm double certain, 2 TTs.
Yeah.
So
he's in the form of his life.
he's in form,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah.
And that's would be my main opposition, Scaries.
All eyes were on him, really.
I thought,
Yeah.
sorry, Stephen, today. And so we went to Scaries. I'm just first time riding in 6 weeks, back out in the bike practice. We just had to be so focused. Like, this is tough stuff. This is road racing was tough stuff. And we start the race. There was the 250 race. I can't remember how things went, but I needed that race. So we started off like scalded cats. It's all there, it's recorded and all, and people have it. I think about 6 or 7 or 8, maybe 12 lap race or more. We bust the lap record at least 6 times.
What?
At least 6 times.
Jesus.
Right? Just lap
Just
after
every
lap
lap.
and stuff. And my brother Noel had the lap board out, and he would have +1 or -1, right? Well, that was £1,000. So +1.
Oh, it was.
I got
It wasn't gapper enough. It was just for the cash.
Yeah. So if it was +1, that was, I'd got the £1,000.
Yeah.
And if it was -1, I'd lost it.
You'd lost it again.
Right.
£1,000. So people wonder what this idiot's up to, you know. But so I'd see the +1, the -1, and I was trying to ride my tactics. I was trying to let Cull do all the work, and then he would slow down. I think when I got behind him then, and what I would do, I'm double certain he led most of it, but I would lie back a bit, you know,
Right.
and then making sure I could pull back in again.
Oh, a bit of slingshot.
So that's how I could get my £1,000, not my £1,000,
Right,
and
gotcha.
trying to work this all out.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And he knew what I was up to, because don't forget we'd raced together now for like 2 years. I'd raced him when I had my old road tax in '87 and '88. I had beat him.
Yes.
I'd beat all of them in the 2 races up to the Northwest.
Yeah,
But he went to the Northwest in TT. So anyway, he wanted it, and nobody like Stephen Cull was a tough, determined rider when he
Fully
wanted
sure.
to win. He was a good rider, good bikes. He had a Honda the exact same as mine. I think there was 4 in the country. I can't remember who the 4th one was. I had one. Joey had one.
Steve Cole.
Stephen Cull had one.
And that was that 88 RS.
That same as that
250,
bike
like.
down there.
Yeah.
Because that was some bike when it came out.
Yeah, imagine so. like.
And I can't remember who the other 1 or 2 was.
And there was only 4 in the country at that stage.
I think that's all there was.
Yeah.
Right.
And they all came out
was
of
it
Tim
just
Allen's.
just a lack of 250s
Yeah, I think
at the time?
that was
or
just
was it
maybe
because they're dear?
Just say they were about £10,000, I think.
back then.
I think so.
It's like a
Jesus.
lot of money, like.
I think it was, and yeah, I think they were about that.
Yeah.
It was a Grand Prix machine,
Yeah,
wasn't it? Like?
and what happened really by that time? Joey won the 88 TT,
Right, okay.
and he had some parts out of that bike.
Okay, yes.
It was Joey who won it. It wasn't Cull who won the 250 then. I think it was 88. I lent Joey stuff out of that bike because there was only brand new and there wasn't stuff for them. The engine was different and everything, and I can't remember. I lent him bits out of that to go to the TT, and he won the 88 TT.
Okay. So
He did on that bike. So anyway,
Yeah.
Cull was there. He won some of the races, and we started by, and the last lap. So he knew he wanted that night, and we're going down the back at Skies. He just knocked it right off.
Oh,
I'm in behind him. He just knocked it right off.
Flipping heck.
And looked back. And I just done the same. I knocked mine right back
Really?
off. I looked back at him. Right off. We're talking about right off.
yeah. 0%.
So,
Did you
0%.
not near running the back of him when he was doing?
I can't
playing
remember.
cat
I
and
watched
mouse
it all
just-
happening.
Yeah. Because of course you were watching him anyway, so you
Yeah,
could get that
I
slingshot.
watched it all happening.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
just knocked her right off. You know, that's it. So
Yeah.
to make me go past, I just done the same. I knocked mine right off.
Brilliant.
So we're actually slowed down.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable compared to
what you were.
what we were doing. And then I never thought, I didn't think about anybody behind, but I suppose he thought somebody else might come in this.
Right.
But I was so zoned in the front.
I think
You
we
wanted
were-
I
that
think we
£1,000.
We could look, I think we were miles ahead anyway.
Yes.
Like literally miles ahead, like lap record after lap record stuff, you know. So, but I knew I was going to do him. So we come up the tunnel. So you know, the skies right up through the tunnel.
Sam's Tunnel.
Through there, yep,
Yeah.
up Sam's Tunnel, through there. And I knocked it off way down the road. There's a left-hander you come out of. And I remember I just took it easy going into it. And he got maybe half a dozen bike lengths, you know. Like, you know, half a dozen bike lengths is hard to make up.
That's a lot.
Right? And then I nailed it. And I thought, I've given too much here.
Yeah.
I thought I'd misjudged it.
You were clawing him in too quickly.
Well, I wasn't clawing him in like quick enough.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not, because I thought I'll get him before the jump. I remember thinking I'll get him before the jump.
Right, okay.
So I'd knocked it off just to give a wee bite. But I knocked it off maybe a fraction too much. So I wasn't pulling him back quick enough.
Right, okay.
And I could see him coming back near the end of the tunnel, right before the jump. I could see him. There's pictures of it. I've got them there, right? And before the end of the jump, so we got up there, and I had to, like us some jump, I had to take it flat because I
Have you
hadn't.
taken it flat before?
No, before that, knocking it a wee bit,
right.
just to stop it coming up, just knocking it. So I'm coming up, and I couldn't have knocked it, so I held on, and I go right round the outside of him,
Jesus Christ.
taking off.
Before I go on airborne?
Before that
Midair.
big jump, right round.
Jesus Christ.
And
Postman,
flat.
Pat getting it around.
Flat, like there's no lifting this, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd seen me up the outside then, he started to pull out, like Stephen would drift out a wee bit, drift out. So we're now onto the edge of the grass, and I'm still landing there flat out.
That's that long left hander.
Yes,
there.
long left hander,
Yeah.
past the cricket pitch.
Oh shit, yeah.
And you're just
There.
buried underneath it.
I'm just in there.
And the line's there.
Yeah, I'm just there, and we just go over the line, and I got him by half a bike.
You got him.
Aye.
Brilliant.
£1,000 as well.
I don't know if it got the £1,000 that lap or got it like the lap
Yes.
before, but I got the £1,000 on the win money.
Brilliant.
Class.
So
And that was the biggest win of your career so far.
Was,
like,
even though like I'd won the nationals and all,
Yeah.
but this was a fair and square lap record race, lap record after. And I think them lap records might still be there today.
Yeah.
I think you still hold lap records.
Yes, and stuff.
Still hold lap record Tandra, don't you?
Yeah, I got that one too.
Yeah.
That was racing against Joey.
That was the
250.
The 250. You hold. I think you hold the. No,
I don't
Guys,
think
that must be like one of the longest standing lap records of
yeah, that
like a track
250
still
one's
going on.
definitely still Tandra Gee.
yeah. I broke your lap record.
And the big one, maybe.
No, on the 350.
On the 350.
On the 350 lap record, not the 250 one.
But not the 250 one. No.
No.
No, unfortunately not.
God, no. It's
The
night and day
250
over
one's
everyone
fast,
else.
like.
Jesus Christ.
So it is.
Unbelievable.
You know,
Yeah.
that was like the race of my life in that 250.
Yeah.
And that's another. That
Who's
was
that against, Joey?
against Joey. We're both going. There's some beautiful pictures of us through start and finish, just flapping our side.
Poetry in motion. That's
Yeah.
what that was.
Yeah.
The-
was
I
one.
used were both Honda riders at that stage
I
as
were
well.
both, and I hadn't rode. I just took that 250. I went to Turkington's. I was going there on my big bike, whatever it was, and I went to Turkington's. Said, Trevor, can we take that bike out? It was Friday night, you know, and we took it out of his garage, out of his attic, and out of the attic and back down there, and then we got her set up. It wasn't actually going right on Friday night. And I think we maybe had to change her to blue gas on Saturday or something.
Made the real difference.
Brilliant. Just to clean
no,
her out.
no, it wasn't. It was the other way around.
Actually, wasn't
We were
well
lit
do.
on Friday night on blue gas,
Right.
and they warned me she was going to be dipped on Saturday.
Oh,
for
blue
flip's
gas
sake.
illegal, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, it was
sake.
illegal. So we had to so I had to change the heads and all on Friday night
Yeah.
and put her back to standard stuff for Saturday.
For unleaded.
Aye, and or like avgas in them days.
Avgas,
you remember
aye.
like there was blue gas, there was avgas, then
Yeah.
there was blue gas was the real stuff.
It was yeah.
You know,
Avgas had antifreeze and stuff in it, didn't it? For the planes, so
aye,
it wouldn't
whereas
freeze.
blue gas had pure burning stuff.
Yeah, it was
Burning
just, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was the race started, and a rich local man, farmer man, he wanted to do a deal. He goes, Phillip, I can't remember, it was a couple of £100 or 500 quid. So I was like smoking everything. And he goes, if you do a bad start, he says, I'll give you 500 quid. I can't remember, it was 200. Anyway, for a bad start, if I do a bad start, I'll get 500 quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say 200, whatever you want to say.
Pay for
Yeah,
next
yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, and stuff. I goes, no, I don't do that.
No.
You don't do that.
No.
You know, you don't do that. You just want to win. Because Joey was there, like the main man was Joey. You know, and Joey in his 250s fast, and Joey was riding good too.
If you got a bad start, you wouldn't have caught him.
No, you wouldn't have got him. You wouldn't have got
Yeah.
him. So what happened?
You get the worst start of your
You
life.
get him?
Stalled it in the line.
Oh, no way.
Truth, it's all there. It's all video. I stalled it on the line. Or I mightn't have had to push it, but it choked up
Yeah.
on the line, and everybody's gone. Like I was away, maybe 10th or maybe more.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see the tape
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I thought,
We'll
oh
probably
no.
find it some stage, yeah.
I thought, oh no. And I could not lose this race. And it was my home race, and I had to win this race. And I'll never forget the first lap. I'd gone bananas. Like it's
Red
this
mist.
is why, you know, you're going insane. You know, it's just, that's not what you should do. You know, this is a different zone altogether.
Yeah.
And round the big right-hander, you know, before you come to, you go through the first bomb hole and you come up and in the big long right-hander right down, and then you flick left before Parks' corner.
Yes, yeah.
There were, thing lost his life, unfortunately, Martin
Finnegan, yeah.
Yes. Well, down that way, I passed about 4 or 5 boys right on the outside.
Yeah.
Right round that corner.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had to get Joey before he got away. Because that man gets away, you're never going to get him again. I'd never rode a first lap like it in my life.
Yeah.
Right round there. I remember a line on the thing still, you know my pictures, the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Line right down round that right hander by round the bottom.
Lovely.
And I can't remember, but I was getting up near him, you know, and then that was the start of it. We just lap after lap, he beat me, I beat him. I can't remember it all because it was a different zone altogether, but I had to win it, and I think I pulled away and got it at the last. I won it anyway.
Brilliant.
And that's the same lap record.
That's the same that stands today.
To this day.
Yeah, that
What
was
year was that? That was 99, was it?
no, it was maybe 90, maybe 92.
So it's well over 30 years ago.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, no, I
Jesus.
thought it was going to be something like that.
Yeah, maybe 92.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
was...
because I had no 250, and that bike was not that one. Laverty's one was an 89.
Right.
No, 90. Maybe a 90.
A 90.
Yeah.
Aye, that would have been the
stuff.
Turkington one that you rode.
Yes,
Turkington
Turkington one. Yeah,
So
and stuff.
we'll go back to the 88 before you went to the Manx. Because we
Yes.
got the Steve Call, your
Oh, wow.
£1,000 in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yes,
Big win. Obviously, morales are high. You've just have to be at the Northwest 250 race winner here, like.
Yes.
So you're probably the talk of the town at this rate.
Yes, I.
Not that you already were, but that's probably obviously put a bit more emphasis on it. Was the Manx up next, or was
Yes,
a few
aye.
more?
There was so after Scaries, that's the beginning of July. I think there's probably a couple more road races, but I need to check the records,
Yeah.
but they were all wins or like first and seconds everywhere, because that year I think I had 125, 250 and 350 Irish Road Race Championships, 125, 250, 350
yes.
Ulster Road Race Championships. I think I had 125, not the 350, but I think I had 125 and 250 Irish Short Circuit Champion and Ulster Short Circuit
You just
Champion.
won everything around you.
Okay.
I'd won everything, you know.
Yep.
And I went off to the Manx Grand Prix then, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, before that, a lot of weekends I'd hired out a car, so I knew roughly where I was going. But it's different then when you get on the bike going. But at least there was a few spots I couldn't get right. I remember I couldn't get them right, and I just knocked them off. You know, I couldn't get them right.
You just rode round?
Yes, because I remember one corner. I forget the name. It's stupid. The last three corners before you come back to signpost corner at the TT. And I think it was Raymond McCullough was watching there with some friends, and he goes, "Phillip, I don't know how you won that race riding like that." You know? But I couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it right, and I couldn't get it, and I rode around like a woman.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I was like fast enough in other places to
everywhere
make up
else,
for
yeah.
it. You know. So anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, were you quite quick at learning tracks?
Well, I was, but I'd done the homework first.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like, yeah, I suppose I was quick at learning them in them days, because like they were first time outs all the time,
Yeah,
you know, or
yeah.
second time there. But I did the homework.
Yeah,
you know,
so it backed up itself.
Yes,
like.
yeah. So it was like, I'd have been, while maybe the boys were in the pub having beer and eating pies, I would have been driving round
You were doing
the
lots.
circuit.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Aye,
I
so
knew.
it's-
See, I didn't want to die. Road racing is a very, very dangerous thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to die, and I didn't want to get hurt, even though I got hurt a few times. So it was really simple. The more there's three things, you know. There's mental preparation. So the mentally you're prepared, the better.
Yeah.
Physically, the better you physically you are, the better. You know, and then mechanically is your bike.
Yeah.
So if you could get those things all right, there was less chance you get hurt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If everything was right, there'd be less chance you get hurt, you know. But in the Manx Grand Prix practice, right, the brake lever came off the bike. That was some lesson
That's Honda.
learned.
Which, the front?
Aye, the front one. Right, so without Manx radio. So anyway, because I was double, like, don't forget I'm an
The
engineer.
brakes come off.
Aye. So at the Manx Grand Prix, I'm going into, it was Quarry Bends. Now, I didn't know where I'm going. I didn't know what section's next. I didn't know what's what. And I'm going, so this is practice. We're trying to get everything right. We're learning so much. Like, everything was like just day and night working and stuff. But the boys, I always went to bed early, you know, because I believed in physical well. So they'd have been working away at the bikes in the garage, and I'd have been off to bed to sleep and then seen them in the morning. But anyway, it was morning practice, I think it was, or the Thursday, whatever. And I'm going down, you want to have a feeling like this, right? So I'm going down to Quarry Bends. I didn't know what corner it was, right? Down there, flat out, I want to pull the brake. There's no brake.
Oh, no brake.
No brake.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Through quarries.
Aye, no brake. Like, so lucky. It was Quarry Bends. You don't have a brake.
fast.
You don't need
Yeah.
a brake going into that. You just knock it off. But I didn't know, did I? I near shit myself with no brake.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I'm being serious.
Oh, I know you're being serious.
I'm coming down there. I rolled it off. I went to just, feel the brake.
Yeah.
And because I'm watching where I'm going, and you couldn't see through quarry bends then like you can now.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no brake. Shit. Right? So I'm so lucky by it's an act of God. I'm into quarry bends and there's loads of room and loads of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
But I've no brake.
Really no break.
So what do you get next bit though? So anyway, I get through quarry bends, but I thought, right, I've got to get back to start and finish. I still had almost 100-mile-an-hour lap with no brake.
No way.
Seriously.
And we just dancing with the rear brake.
With the rear brake, yeah. Just using
Jesus Christ.
on the rear brake into the corners. So I finished that lap from quarry bends with no front brake.
Holy
I
shit.
wonder if that's a record in itself.
So then when I get back to the start and finish, where's your brake? This fell off. What? This fell off. Right, this is the God's honest truth.
Halfway around the track.
Because you'll hear the announcement going out and all. So we don't have a spare brake lever.
Oh, Flip.
We haven't got one.
Yeah. I suppose you weren't planning on using.
No, I don't know why. Like, you only had enough spares that you can afford, but didn't have a spare brake. So I couldn't go out again without this brake lever. So we put it out in Manx radio. Mm-hmm. Here's the truth.
Yeah.
Because people remember it being announced, and it was found. And I knew where I lost it. I could tell them where I lost it. It was somewhere between, where's before quarry bends.
Oh, Christ, can't remember.
After you've Cullen 1 and 2 and Balaf Bridge.
Balaf, yeah.
Balaf and there.
Oh, why? And then Corey's is that?
Yes. So I knew I had it at Balaf.
Yeah.
So somewhere between Balaf and quarry bends was a brake lever, and a woman found it.
Yeah.
And she handed it in, say maybe the Ramsey police station, or handed it in somewhere.
Yeah.
And we went and got our lever back.
Class.
And that was it then from a race. Do
you think that helped you in sort of a weird, scary way of having no brakes, so you had no choice?
You learned at nearly a slower rate than what you were going through. Like.
Yeah, you just, there was still bits, but it was, it did, you had to get the corners right then, because you couldn't, do that. It's
you
funny.
couldn't run wide.
Yeah, it's funny. The same thing happened on Sunday on my mountain bike. I had a bit of an off on Sunday on my mountain bike.
Right, okay.
A good one, and I broke the front brake lever off. But we're up at the top of the mountain at Kilbrony.
Yeah.
It was actually,
somebody passed there.
Somebody passed there, yes. And I come off and I broke the brake lever off. The rear brake, the one you need in a mountain bike.
Yeah.
So I had to finish that lap on Sunday. But no, I was just reminded about the same thing. I had to finish this with no rear brake.
Bringing back all this memory.
Yeah, average at 100 mile an hour as well.
A mountain bike, actually we're still on a good pace, for having no brake. And the front brake's no good in a mountain bike, really, because you have to need the back brake to trail you into corners, So funny, I thought about it on Sunday, but
PTSD set.
The Manx GP.
Yes, it was all stuff. So anyway, we get that going, and we get going stuff, and we were well. The boys actually, sort of by practice then, they started to look wee bit. I forget, there was a couple of lads there and they'd done a couple of Manxes, and they were coming back to win. They were coming back to win the Manx, and then this idiot McCallen is in the middle. Yeah. But I didn't really, I didn't pull the speed out, I remember, until the race. Now, it'd be interesting to see the lap speeds, but if I remember right in practice, I was putting it together.
Section by section.
Yes, and putting it all right. And I didn't pull out the speeds. I was 100 mile an hour, maybe 101 or something was the lap record. And I was up around that, but nothing stunning.
Yes.
Well, that was good for doing that, but you
didn't put all the sectors together.
Didn't put it all together. Just I was learning and learning. The thing was to learn it and learn it and learn it and learn it and learn it, and then the rest would come by itself.
Yeah.
And so in the race, then I let it up. And I busted the lap record by 7 mile an hour.
Wow.
7 mile an hour.
7, not 1 or 2. 7 mile an hour. The lap record was around 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
And in the newcomers, this was the newcomers. I had 107. It'll all be there in records somewhere. 107 mile an hour.
It'd be interesting to see what the TT boys were doing.
I was about to ask, couldn't have been a million mile away. That could have placed you pretty well at that year's TT, surely.
Probably. I'd need to look and see.
Yeah.
It was maybe 112 or something.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, but as a newcomer.
Yes,
first,
that was good.
Yeah.
And then, but what happened also was the fork seal bust in the bike.
Right.
So there was oil dripping out of her.
Yeah.
At the end of that thing. But I didn't give a shit. I did, but I didn't. I had to keep going anyway, no matter.
You had to put it in the back of your head.
Yes. And I was worried in case that oil was going to get down the tire.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went and got 107 mile an hour, so that was good.
Brilliant.
So then, with 350, so obviously the newcomers win, lap record destroyed. And midweek was the 350 race, which of course I had saved that as well. I'd put all the sections together, so the race was going to be, and by now of course I had more confidence, hadn't I? I'd done that, and the bloody 350, I told them to put the new clutch in it.
Yeah.
I said the clutch was on the bench, we'd saved that, like it was our clutch, we'd saved that for the race. They didn't put it in there, but
That's sick.
you know, and the clutch burnt first lap.
Was it
First lap.
Was there a reason why they didn't put it in? Or?
Probably never thought. I'd went to bed early, you know, said put the
And they
clutch
just
in.
forgot it, clean all about
So I
it.
said to him when I come back and broke down, he says, boys, you put the clutch in the bike? Yeah, we'll put the clutch in the bike. I wish you didn't. No, I did. Back on the bench, the guy.
There
So I
you
was
go.
sitting with the new clutch.
Did you not want to put that 350 into the harbour? No.
Is this the same one with the 18-inch wheels?
Yes,
Aye,
aye.
broken.
Yeah.
Aye. Should
Yeah.
fit for the harbour then.
Bobby,
It
yeah.
would have been. I was stubborn bitch wouldn't have auto dealer.
No. So that was that lost. So then we're now more fired up for Friday's race.
Yes.
So the Friday was the lightweight 250 race. Same bike, my little Honda. But the fork seal bust, didn't it? So I can't remember. I think we couldn't get fork seals or something, or we got a fork seal somewhere at the last minute or
Yes.
something. I think we put a fork seal on it, then we got from somewhere because Bob McCallen was the boss of Honda then.
Yes, yeah.
And he was on the island. So he'd
Okay.
been watching this happening.
Yes.
Right? And I can't remember, we got a fork seal, put it in the bike, but you know what? After the second lap of the race, the fork seal was leaking again.
Right.
Okay.
So the oil was coming up on the inside of the screen.
Oh, flip's sake.
So I knew it was a fork seal again.
Yeah.
So I couldn't give her 1,000%. But anyway, again, I busted up a record and that
Yeah.
by, I think, another like 7 mile an hour again. That was a lap
Yeah,
record,
yeah.
or maybe 5, 6, 7 mile an hour, busted lap record and won it again by minutes, you know. So I didn't have to go faster, but I wanted to go faster. And but there was oil everywhere, you know.
You wanted
so
to beat yourself just.
But that would have been like, there would have been like the newcomers 250 race, and then there would have been the Manx Junior 250
Yes.
race. So like you weren't racing against newcomers in this one, so you're racing against
That's true.
unproven men.
Oh, yes, everybody.
you
that
smoked it as well,
Yes,
like?
everybody that was coming back to win it. All
Yes.
them boys were coming back to win it. And there this idiot McCallen turns up. And
Just smokes them.
there's pictures of me in the rostrum, poor lads standing there and stuff, you know.
Class.
So,
And was there any, seeing the newcomer race, was there any boys you were racing against who you were racing later down the line? Do you remember?
no, I don't
No.
remember them all because them boys were like more, just say a wee bit more amateurish than I
Right,
was.
okay,
They were,
yes.
When people went to the Manx, they also went. There was, you know, the like of the Norman Browns, or I forget the names of the boys. The winners went to the Manx to win it.
Yeah.
You know, not just to ride there. Was them other boys
Were there for
went,
the-
well, they went to win it, but they weren't in the same league as the real boys.
More than
who went there to win it.
experience sort of
You
thing.
know,
Yeah.
stuff was with more determined. But I remember I was actually nearly knocked off in the very first lap. I think it was that one. I came down Bray Hill down to Quarter Bridge, Braddon Bridge, whichever one comes first, to get the two of them mixed up. Quarter Bridge.
Quarter Bridge first,
And down I
Braddon.
came by right, and it was the Manx Grand Prix. So down I come in the race, you know, being sort of careful, get everything right, and I was just about to tip into the left or tip into the right into the roundabout,
Yeah.
and I heard this.
Someone coming behind you.
I heard the squeal of tires, right? And I thought, shit, and I lifted it up.
Yeah.
And there's this lad straight on into the bales. He had locked her up on his. I think
He's
he was
overcooked her.
on a KR1S or a something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant.
On a production bike or a Suzuki, maybe
Yeah.
a Suzuki or one of them. I heard. I thought, what's that? I don't know why. I lifted it and looked, and I went bang
Jesus.
straight across the road into.
And good job you did.
So
Look.
had I not looked round or tapped that in, it took me off,
I would have cleaned you.
But heck.
and I wouldn't won my Manx.
Jesus.
You know, so.
You reckon, do you believe that, Manx, that was kind of what set you up for, you know, factories starting to look at you and really, like, I know you were doing good racing beforehand, but that really, like,
Yeah.
you know, perked everyone's hairs up?
Yes, well, Bob McCallen at that point, so I was talking to Bob McCallen there, and Bob came over and shook my hand. I didn't know who he was, did I? Like, you know, he introduced
Yeah.
himself. I'm Bob McCallen, the boss of Honda.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, you've done brilliant, all the rest, because the whole island was talking about this by now, because nobody had ever went there and smashed all these lap records and done everything. And he goes, right, that I'd like you to ride for us next year.
Wow.
That was Honda.
So
Just like that?
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Shook my hand, said I'd like you to ride for us next year.
heck.
So
That's class.
Did he ever have a chat with you, like,
Well,
you can't calm yourself out there, this is your first time, blah, blah, blah?
no, because I didn't know until it was after the racing was
after.
over. This was all over then.
Right, okay.
Whenever, or maybe, might have introduced himself maybe somewhere before that last race or something. But it was after that last race, he came over, shook my hand and said, I'd like you to ride for us next year. So I said, no problem.
No problem.
So this is 1988, and I've got like a Honda ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And you only started in 84.
Really only 86.
86,
Yeah,
yeah.
really got-
By the
I
time
probably
you...
had 3 or 4 races in 84. That was it,
Yeah.
And so all I had was 3 or 4 races just to
That's true, yeah.
find out I liked it.
Yeah.
And so Bob said once, so I was some boy, I've got a Honda ride for next year.
Yeah.
Right. So that was okay. I didn't talk about it. I didn't tell nobody because there's no paperwork. No, I'm close friends knew me, been offered this ride, and that was it. Thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Then I went to, back in them days, you went to, what do you call this show? Used to be
Ali
Ali
Pali.
Pali. Used to go to the Ali Pali show.
Right.
That was
where the deals were made.
Was that before Christmas?
Probably been like what
was-
NEC is now.
I was going to say, is that like NEC?
I can't
Yeah, it would
remember.
have been NEC
Anyway,
before NEC.
Oh, right.
I think wherever it was, I met Bob face to face. I just thought, I can't give you a ride this year.
Oh, he went back on
go,
his
what?
word.
Oh, shit, right.
What? You'd promised me a ride. Yeah. He says, look, I'm really sorry. He says, we can't do it. We haven't got the bikes.
Honda haven't
got bikes. We've just,
HRC has not got enough more bikes.
we don't have enough bikes.
Flip's sake.
And I go, why is that? He goes, well, and this is the truth, we listened to it all. So they had Roger Burnett riding for them.
Yeah.
They had Brian Morrison riding for them. They had Carl Fogarty riding for them. They had Steve Hislop riding for them. They had Joey Dunlop riding for them.
Right, you just didn't have the resources.
They didn't have
like.
the bikes.
Jesus Christ.
So they apologised, just said, look, I'm really, really sorry. It's just, I'd love you to ride for us and all the rest, but we haven't got the bikes. When you put that all together, I think it was somebody else there too.
Maybe Carter or something.
On the outside, it's later on,
No,
maybe
he's
he
later
rode.
on, maybe, yeah.
And so I thought, I was a bit down on, but actually wasn't that much down on, because in the meantime, Kawasaki was chasing me.
Right.
Okay.
So Kawasaki was looking me to ride for them in 89.
89.
So this was 88, the Manx Grand Prix year. So we're now getting August, September, the end of the year. I've won all them championships anyway. I've won everything, and I'd beaten the best TT riders in the world.
Manufacturers come to get you, like.
Yeah. And Kawasaki, they were racing in England at that time with Ray Swan and Roger Hirsch and them boys.
Yeah.
And do you know who was like nearly the apprentice in them days? John Reynolds.
Oh, John Reynolds, that's
Really?
right.
John Reynolds was like nearly the
young gun.
apprentice little boy, and his dad. They were there
Yeah.
Brilliant.
giving Kawasaki help, but down a bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Kawasaki offered me the ride. I thought, right, I'll take it. So it was a contract all done up.
Would this been your first kind of paid ride?
Yes,
so
so
it's
I
first
was
thing you
now
got a
getting
bit
a
of a
wage.
contract.
I was getting a contract. I was getting a wage. I was getting everything. Not a big wage,
Yeah.
but all the rest. And so I thought, oh right, we're on it here. So I had a KR1S with a Formula 2 kit in it. So it was a road bike, a KR1
The two.
with the Formula
Yes.
2 kit in it.
Yeah.
And would that have been acting as your 250? then?
That would have been my 250. That was my
Okay.
250 to play on.
Right.
Then I had my 600, I had my 250 with that. I had my 600, and then I had my Prodi 750, and I was having my full blown 750.
Right, so a 4-bike stable.
So yeah, 4 bikes and whatever I wanted.
Yeah. Right.
And so that's why that contract sounded good. And their Kawasaki, that was the first. I need to check exactly now, but that would have been the first of their ZX7s or,
Yeah, that's
or their
very.
ZX7s.
think so, yeah.
Wouldn't have been
or
far away from
like
us.
this was the 750 was coming from Japan. It was going to be a full blown factory thing from there. My Prodi bike was the Prodi bike with like stuff on it. My 250, I knew it wasn't going to be as good as a 250, but I thought I'll play on that.
Aye.
And then my 600 was going to be the one to kill on.
Yeah.
Yes.
'cause
Yeah,
that was the, in theory they were all competitive, but 750, I knew I wouldn't be fit to, like, I'd never raced a 750 before. So I knew.
Would this have been your first 750 that you would have rode?
Yes, first
Yeah,
750.
so-
The only bike I ever rode before that 750 was Winston McAdoo's RC30.
That's right. That's right.
That's the only 750 I'd ever rode before that.
Yes.
And it's maybe things like this, I've got the biggest respect in the world for Winston McAdoo, and maybe Winston gave me a ride in that bike, and maybe if that Kawasaki ride or Honda ride hadn't have turned up, I might have ended up riding for Winston.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. Winston was a nice man, and I think he liked me all right, you know.
Yeah.
And I was winning. So Winston, I was always like against Winston's rider. So I was Winston, even though the man, I think, is the big respect for me, and I respected him. I ended up racing against his riders all the time, you know.
That's true.
And so this Kawasaki thing was no problem. I'm going to whip everybody doing this. I'll just ride the arse off thing. So I done well. Not winning, but I was up there pretty good on the 250, riding the wheels off it.
You would have had
riding
to,
the
like.
wheels.
The KR.
Yeah, the KR1, yes.
Banak.
So it was pretty quick with the Formula 3. Was it a Formula 3 kit?
Yes,
Would have been
Formula
on it?
3, they would have been, yes.
And that, not as quick as a 250, but I would try to ride it. So I've slid off it a couple of times, you know, like, pretty much like, just trying, because all of a sudden I was winning races and I wasn't.
Yeah.
My 600 wasn't. I ended up riding for Norman Watt, right? So what happened?
Right, Norman Watt, the motocross renowned.
Yeah, Norman Watt. So Norman Watt was a big Kawasaki off-road dealer.
Okay, yeah.
So they asked Norman. Norman was going to run the Irish Kawasaki team. So Norman was my boss.
Right, okay.
Really, in the team. And that's how I met Jim McMahon and Mechanic Jim. So Jim worked for Norman Watt.
Okay.
So he did. And so we got the Kawasaki's, and the work would be done down at Norman's.
Yeah.
Or I think then Norman might have let us take, I'm not sure where we got taking the bikes home to my garage, but Jim worked on them anyway. But what happened, the 600, you had to do a lot of tuning to them and do all, they were supposed to be a Proddy bike, but the ones that
but
were
they weren't
winning,
as racy as what you were racing against there. Like this.
no, the Proddy bike, they were not as good as Roger Hurst and Ray Swans and all those.
Right, okay, yes.
Bikes were better than mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like a Brian Reed, and his bike was better than mine. And so my Kawasaki was, I'm riding the wheels off this bike. I've had a few crashes and we're not at the front, you know.
And you're starting to get irritated. And
Of course I am, you know. And because I'm whipping all these boys last year.
Yeah.
And I kind of sit in the slipstream.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a 750. Obviously the factory one hadn't came yet because it was getting built for Northwest TT time.
Yeah.
It was getting built, so I hadn't got it yet. I had like the Proddy one with the stuff on it.
Yeah.
But they didn't handle very good, you know. And in fact, Billy Nutt, what happened at the Northwest. So I had it out at the Tandra and stuff. You know, the Cookstown.
Was that when we're going to have to put a photo up?
The Cookstown, there's like the ladders, that's not the ones that crashed in, like, but that's them there. So that's some picture of that one sliding down
I
the
have
road.
it saved somewhere. We're going to put it up on the podcast. Like,
So let me get this. The Cookstown must have been before the Tandra that year. Right, so it was after, the Cookstown must have been before the Tandra that year. So what happened anyway there, that was before the Northwest, obviously, yes. So what happened at the Cookstown, so these bikes weren't, I'm riding the wheels off these bikes, we're getting nowhere and I'm nearly getting killed. And then at the Cookstown 100, I'm up there down flat out through the farmyard, right? And a roller off to the bottom and she was stuck flat out.
the throttle stuck wide open.
Yeah, I'm pushing this thing back.
Yeah.
She won't slow down. Now that's the fastest part of the Cookstown course, up over the back, down over the hill and down through the farmyard. That's 150 mile an hour.
Just outside.
This is like the old Cherry Grim.
The old course. Yeah. You know, you went back to like Stewartstown and then you went
just
to
outside Stewartstown,
and you went back over that hill, right down that hill through the farmyard.
Yep.
That's 150 mile an hour stuff down there.
Yeah.
Through the farmyard, and then you knock her off for a right-hander, right?
And would you knock down any gears to get into there?
I will maybe down two in the corner, down one, maybe two in the corner. But before that, she's just stuck
like
on the limiter on the sixth gear, right? So I come down through the farmyard, the hammers are shit, right? But out then, running out into the middle of the road, I can't remember, it's one side, two sides, it's the marshals with the yellow flags.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Brian Reed had cleared off. Brian was riding good on his Yamaha. Sam McClemens was on his Honda, which is competitive, and I'm my Kawasaki. So Sam was just in front of me.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I thought? I thought Sam was crushed round this corner.
Yes, yeah.
and
you're coming down.
I'm coming down flat out. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
Round the corner here. And this bike's stuck flat out. I can't get stopped.
Oh,
Even though they're waving yellow flag, I can't stop.
You've no
I can't
choice.
stop. And I think these people think I'm a lunatic.
Yeah.
You know, this.
Yeah.
I can't stop this thing. I'm flat out.
Yeah.
I thought, right, what are we going to do? In the picture, you'll see everything. I was stuck. It won't stop. Right. I have the clutch in the bar. You'll see it in the picture. I have the clutch in trying to stop it. I have the brake on. This thing ain't stopping. Right. So I'm going to have to try and get it around this corner somehow.
Yeah.
So I tip her to the right and she's sliding lovely sideways. Isn't that the picture?
Yeah, we'll get the photo.
She's sliding sideways.
Proper flat track.
Yeah, proper flat track stuff.
Proper
At 150 mile an hour. I maybe got her down to 140. You know?
Yeah.
Tipped her in and the smoke's pumping out the back of her. The pumps.
Yeah.
You've never seen anything like it in your life. You haven't.
Yeah.
Well, I actually think I'm holding it. I think I'm doing good. I'm holding it. Next thing she caught, didn't she?
Oh, shit. Turned you end over end.
Just disappears through a hedge. I took a bit of that shock out of the thing and the bike ended up way down the field. There's a picture of a bike pushing it back up the field, you know.
There's not much left of her.
And there's not much left of her, you know. And I'm getting out of the hedge.
And this is the 750?
No, that's the 600.
No, that's 600.
That's 600.
And
So,
why was the valve stuck open?
didn't stick. It broke a con rod. It's a beautiful story. Right? So she's on maximum revs, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know where they are down there. Maybe over revving because that's down to just a fast part. Broke a con rod. The con rod churned the bottom out of the cases.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
So that's the oil going out the bottom onto
Right.
the exhaust, all the smoke.
Yeah.
And the piston comes up in, breaks the valves and fires the valves back into the carburetor.
Oh.
Right? So,
So she's
the
keeping
butterfly carburetors were all linked. So when these valves go out, that just holds the butterflies open.
She stuck her open there.
Aye. So no matter what I done, the butterflies
they
couldn't
stuck.
close because the valves were holding the butterflies open.
Flippin' heck.
So that's why she was stuck flat out.
Jesus Christ.
You know, aye.
There was no way of ever...
You're never going to stop that.
You're never
also.
going to stop it.
You know. So, and the wee man who took the picture, he didn't realise for a couple of weeks later he was running. Everybody
I'm
down
sure
there's
he was.
running by now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know,
He's running, snapping.
everybody's running.
Yeah.
This is.
It's the
See
craziest
what happened?
photo
See,
ever.
this bike had come down through there. They had seen it blowing up.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So this coming down there, this is why the marshals are. This thing is blew up and they're trying to tell me stop. There's smoke
I've
everywhere.
never seen it for miles.
Aye,
really.
they've seen this. Everybody's watched this happening in slow motion for the last half mile, quarter of a mile. I'm trying to stop it.
And they're just trying to tell you.
Yeah, they're trying to tell me stop. You know, it's like,
And did you get away with it? You didn't wreck.
no, I got something maybe broke up a bit or something. Nothing,
Yeah.
you know,
Aye,
just
nothing more.
a bit of a crack or a bit
You
of something.
got
you know.
lucky in
Aye. So I'm
some ways.
I'm walking across the field too. I'm walking there, head down, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Bike destroyed. We're back to pits again. So this is getting frustrating. I'm now crashing every week.
Yeah.
You know, bikes are no good. Nothing's right. And it's like, my God, what do we do here?
Yeah.
So then I get a new bike. Right. So now I'm struggling to get near the back of the top 3 or 4, even riding beyond all limits. Right. So I'm going to ride Kawasaki. We're in trouble here. Everything's wrecked. You want to see it? We need something else. So they sent me over a new 600.
Right.
Right. So like this is a week later for the Tandra G100. So I get my new 600 and wow, I'm suddenly fighting for the lead with Brian Reid. I would have whipped him at the Tandra G, but I'd under-geared it. I hadn't geared it right.
Right.
Okay.
I had 2 races. I think maybe I'm second in both of them, or maybe me one race on the big race, whatever. Anyway, so I'd now got a bike that was as competitive as a Yamaha. So I
What's the
didn't.
difference?
What was the difference? Yeah.
Well, nobody
Just more
knows. This was
GGs.
just this one was tuned, mine wasn't. Maybe
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
some little.
There's bikes, then there's bikes.
Yeah, there's
Right,
bikes.
right.
and
So
there's
yours
bikes.
must have been, you must have got like the British Super Sport equivalent.
Mine was
then.
mine was just we took it out of the crate and all, Jim and I. So
Alright.
we just had like the bike out of the crate.
It was just a road bike, basically.
Just a road bike and bolted our bits onto it.
Yes.
You know, but obviously the good super sports had worked on the engines in them and had all the stuff that we knew. We're new to this production game, don't forget, we know nothing about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So the bike, you know, but they tell you the rules, you know, this is all you're allowed to do and do, but then there's
Right
diversion.
enough, because this would have been your first time production race.
Oh, aye.
Because you had just
Yeah.
been in Grand Prix stuff beforehand.
two
I'd
strokes,
never
yeah.
I
rode
didn't
it.
even cop on to that.
I'd never rode a road bike before this.
Yeah.
I'd never rode a 4-stroke before this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hadn't, you know.
So
And
it was
like-
all new. You were
Apart
like,
from the old cow beater.
Yes,
like,
aye.
yes.
cow beater.
Yeah, but you know, nothing else.
Yeah.
So it was
You're having to run before you can walk, or
Yeah, so I was having to do everything. But when I got this bike from England, this was not the same as my bike.
Yeah.
This bike had brakes on it that worked. It had suspension that worked. It had everything.
Comes in handy.
Yeah, it was like, wow. So all of a sudden, I'm back where I should be at the Tandra G100. Maybe got a second place or something on it, but if I had geared it right, I would have won. I knew I'm now competitive in this. So I'm half happy again, 250, I maybe got in the top 6 at Tandra G in the race, which was good for a road bike. The 750 I raced it, but I can't remember nothing about it. What happened. And then we go on to the Northwest. But 250 obviously no good for the Northwest, so my thing was 600 on the Proddy 750.
Yep.
But then Billy Nutt wouldn't let me ride it because I'm coming down to Metropole. This thing didn't handle very good, right? So I'm coming down to Metropole, whatever speed, 170. This thing's going from curb to curb.
Jesus Christ.
The
whole of the road.
The whole of the road. I'm hanging on to that.
So I was just tank slapping from
You may as well just be a windsock out
I'm
there.
at the top of this thing's
from
going.
Mothers to Metropole.
I couldn't stop it. I couldn't do anything with it, And so I was called into
But he just kept
clerk
repenting.
of the course,
You were going down from Mothers Metropole, hanging
I'm hanging on to this thing that's doing it at once, and I can't do nothing about it. And we know nothing about these bikes. And
Did you ever think of doing that?
No, Jim.
No.
You don't do that. Are you a pussy or something? People like you finish last.
That was your problem.
I usually did. Well, I would ride round the fucking Isle of Man with no brakes, like.
Yeah. Still go quicker than you.
So,
anyway, you kept repenting.
No, you don't do that. So anyway, I was called into clerk of the court, the flipping Stuart's inquiry. You're not riding this bike. I goes, no, I am. He goes, you're not riding the bike, Phillip. I goes, no, I am. It's okay.
It's okay.
Look me in the eye. You're not riding that bike.
Yeah.
Or else you go home now. I goes, okay, I'm not riding that bike.
And this was Billy Nutt.
It's Billy Nutt. So I wasn't allowed to ride that 750.
And was it the marshal give off?
Everybody on the medical crew and the marshal, everybody riding the track.
Spectators, fucking man on the moon.
You better get the slot off the bike.
What's this boy doing?
Before half the field's killed and there's nobody left now. So that's another kick in the nuts, isn't it? It's like we're on the wrong road here, know. And so anyway, I'm still determined. 600, we'll show them. We'll do them 600, and I think a 600 blew up or something.
No, flip sake.
I can't remember what happened, but the 600 quit too. Something broke or something else, so I didn't finish that race.
Yeah.
So I'm sick. I'm sick. It's just like, what have you done here? I remember saying to my girlfriend, what have we done here? What have we done? What have you done, Phillip?
What have you done?
I went, and before that I'd talked to, the Kawasaki man was the famous Kawasaki, Alec Wright.
Tom Wright's dad?
Yep. Alec Wright was the boss of Kawasaki. He was Kawasaki factory man. So I talked to Alec Wright. Colin Wright was a junior just running around after Daddy. And
it was GSE. It turned into GSE then, didn't it? The Wrights?
Yes, but anyway, this was not what I was promised, So I'm sick, I'm coming home on Sunday. This had all happened, word for word. So Sunday I'm coming home. I'm sick. I'm just, what have I done? My life's over again,
I'm sick.
Again. My life's over.
Yeah.
And I was stopping Joey's pub. And I was actually pretty good friends with Joey by now. Joey and I was friends because I lent him stuff off my 250.
Yeah.
And we'd got to know each other a bit more. And I'd raced again him by now. So he knew I wasn't a bad lad. I was a pretty determined, hard rider, but I wasn't a bad person. And, there was respect too. There was just stuff, when you passed clean. You didn't, that sort of stuff all. So he had respect for me and I had respect for him. And, so I stopped in the pub on the way home, dinner time on a Sunday, me and the girlfriend, and just what do we do? So we walk in the bar, and Joey's sitting in the bar. There's nobody else in the bar.
Right.
He was by himself in the bar there, and I sat down beside him. He goes, how'd it go? And I go, didn't do good at all. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying. It's like, this happened. This happened. He just turned round. It was the honest truth. He just turned round and he goes, you know what, Phillip? You should be in my bikes.
Is that what Joey Dunlop said
exactly
that to you?
What Joey Dunlop said to me. Exactly. Word for word.
And did your...
I didn't... I looked at my girlfriend. He was there. I can't remember. I don't know why I think she might have been in the middle. because I didn't turn back to look at her. I can't remember. Anyway, the three
You
of
didn't
us
leave
was
your
there.
keys in the boat on the way in.
The keys were going to bin. And I thought, I looked at her and she looked at me. That's why I think she was there.
Yeah.
I looked at her. No, I looked at Joy. I looked at her. And I
look at
goes,
anyone.
what'd you say?
Yeah.
You know, goes, you should be riding my bikes.
Brilliant.
And I goes, well, how do we make that happen? It sort of happened this quick. He says, I'll speak to Honda in the morning. You know,
Jesus Christ.
he didn't even say Davy Woods was his manager at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't say he was going to
He didn't even say Davy. He says, I'll speak to Honda in the morning. You sort yours out. You know?
Brilliant.
Right.
And I goes, right, this is no problem. So he phoned Honda. Then I phoned Bob McCallen. It must have been like later on that day. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. It was maybe a couple of days later. And he goes, right, yes, Phillip, we're definitely, you can have Joey's bikes. So Joey has agreed with it. It was Joey who agreed with this, not me.
Yeah.
You can have Joey's 125, you can have Joey's 250, and the 750 wasn't sorted out yet, but we'll sort something out. And then what happened in the end was Joey had a factory bike coming.
Right.
So he did.
Yeah.
And Hizzy got Joey's factory bike.
Okay.
And I got Hizzy's standard bike.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you've still done pretty well out of it.
So I got a 600 out of Alan's Honda. That was my 600. I had Joey's 125, Joey's 250, and Hizzy's 750.
Flipping heck.
But before I got that far, there was trouble to come. We'll go, right, Phillip, you know, we'll offer you a bike, but what are you going to do with your Kawasaki contract?
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
I will.
What are we going to do with that?
Yeah.
We forgot about it, didn't we? You've got a Kawasaki contract, Phillip. You get out of your contract, you get the bikes, but you don't get out of your contract, you've got no bikes.
Oh, dear.
Why'd you have to
What,
do?
do you have to pay yourself out or something? Or?
Oh dear. So I thought, but I went to see my solicitor.
Right.
I'm not going to say on the phone who my solicitor was, but she was a very, very good lady solicitor.
Right.
So she was, and my girlfriend Christine was a law clerk.
Oh.
So Christine was her assistant.
Flip.
So she was. So
You went
That's
taking
handy.
advice.
yes. So we went to see, but by this time, you know, the solicitor.
Yeah.
We'll not mention her name on the thing here.
Okay.
Oh well, Rosie. Right, we'll just call her Rosie. 'Cause
We'll
that's
call her
her
Rosie,
real name.
yeah.
That's her real name. So Rosie already knew me by now because Rosie knew me for a couple of years because of Christine.
Yes.
You know, Christine and I had went out for a few years, so we always swapped stories and swapped stuff. So it's like, what trouble are you in now, Phillip? I go, well, Rosie, I need out of this contract. You know.
Yeah.
She goes, and Rosie was a tough solicitor, so I had to give her the contract. We give all the stuff. She goes, this is easy, Phillip. You know,
Right.
they've broken every single rule in the contract. You know, they were supposed to supply me with competitive bikes. I didn't understand contracts or anything about them. I just signed them, don't I? And,
I know.
I really know from
You know,
the test riding days.
we're a bit trustworthy, aren't we?
Yeah,
You know,
sorry, yeah.
like old-fashioned days here, you know, if a man shook your hand and nodded, that was okay.
Gentleman's
That was an agreement.
Yeah.
So that was sort of stuff I had done. But in my contract, there were supposed to be competitive bikes. There was supposed to be this, all this sort of stuff, and all this stuff. And they didn't meet any of those requirements. Now, I wouldn't have knew that, and other riders would just have put up with that.
Yeah.
But we needed out of this. So Rosie, that was the Friday, she had. So this is still going on a week later. So she got I think we had to do faxes in them days, and there was no emails or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Dial up and stuff like that.
So I think it was letters to be sent and faxes, whatever had all happened, and they weren't going to release me, so they weren't from it.
Yeah.
And then so Rosie says, right, well, we'll take you to the highest court in the land. You finished this lad's career. You finished all this. She knew what she was talking about. You've racked this. You finished this. So then about the Wednesday, or maybe the beginning of the next week, I was released from the contract, like 5 days before the TT.
Wow.
Right. That's class.
Jesus.
So that was me released from a Kawasaki contract.
And then
and I joined Honda.
That's when you joined Honda.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Flipping heck.
I'm just a wee bit time conscious here, Philip. I could listen to you all day, and I do have to listen to you most days anyway. But if you're happy enough, would you be able to do a part 2 with us?
Well,
I
only,
think
are you sure the people want
the
it?
people is definitely going to want it. This has been fantastic, this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm sure you do
unbelievable.
agree.
Fantastic.
So you have enough stories to do probably a series. But I think it'd be good to do part 2. But I'd still like to ask, we'll do a question for them all. It's like a finale question.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm going to ask this question without holding a mirror, probably, but
You can't choose
yes,
yourself.
you can't choose yourself, but we'll go for it anyway. So obviously you've been about paddocks a long time. You've met a lot of interesting, crazy people, but who is the biggest nutbag you have ever met in racing, apart from looking in the mirror?
It's really hard to say because, you know, if you look at them all at different times, they're all nutbags, you know.
Yeah.
But when you know those people, usually there's a pretty good person under that. So we can call them a nutbag for something they've done or something like that. But most of all those guys in that top staff, on the top step and stuff, are all good guys under it. So
Yeah.
it'll be...
But is there any live wires? It can be a mechanic, it can be an owl.
Any header in the pub on the race after or something, or...
You could call them all nutbags for different reasons. I would have to think that one up.
I'll let you have a think
for coming back.
Part two.
So I would, because there was some, like, definitely wingdings out there. They all would have been, the people you would associate with are all good wingdings.
They're right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd have to think on that one.
We'll let you think for part two, but Phil, thank you very much.
Thanks very much,
really
buddy.
No problem. Look, thank you, boys.
Yeah, absolute
and hopefully
gentleman.
that was a wee bit interesting for
See
you.
you
know?
in the morning.